Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Take a far-out trip into the twilight zone of late-night radio with Iain
Unmissable late-night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain Lee.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
There we go. The reason for the delayed start, ladies and gentlemen, is I was having a fist fight with Dennis Wise. Sorting this out once and for all. How you doing, Dennis? You all right?
I'm very well, thank you.
What a lovely surprise!
It's lovely to see you as well, mate.
Because you were with Danny Kelly on Talk Sport.
Danny Kelly, yeah, doing Talk Sport, mate.
Here's the thing, though, right? I came in, and a few people went, Iain, should probably let you know, Dennis is in the building. And I went, oh, where is he? They said, what, you're going to go and talk to him now? I said, yeah, I'll go and say hello to him. Of course I will.
Funny.
But isn't it funny?
Yeah.
People go...
Perception.
Well, it is. People think, well, it's all going to kick off. Maybe you want to... If you go there, he won't see you. I was like, well, go and say hello to him.
Can we get some strawberries in here, please?
Oh,
so we can just share them.
Every bloody TV show I go on, they said, no, we've had this idea. We're going to get some strawberries. And I go, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. But you're all right, mate.
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm very well, yeah. Been busy.
I know you've
been busy as well,
Well,
haven't you?
you've been busy.
Yeah.
Because you've been on Sky.
Yeah.
You've been all over the shop
Done
doing
the
bits and
debate.
pieces.
I've done the Sky News. I do now. They want me to do some stuff at Talk Sport, which is nice. And
That's good.
been watching you in the mornings, GMB.
God, blimey, it's an early start, though.
Yeah, it is, mate, isn't it?
Especially when I'm doing this. I finish this at 1.
Yeah.
Then I go off to a hotel, sleep for 2 hours, and I go.
Are you going back on it? Are you doing?
I've got a few more. But I'm like they're sort of stand-in guy for showbiz. So it's brilliant. I love it.
And what else?
Loose women. Been doing loose women a bit. It's brilliant. Do you know what? It's the weirdest thing. I tell you the thing, and you probably got this anyway because of you being a footballer, but the weirdest thing for me is kids recognise me now.
Yeah.
Like 10, 11, 12-year-old kids will stop in the street and go, flip.
I went to my daughter's netball competition and all the girls wanted all the netball team girls wanted a photo and it was quite bizarre, mate.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
How are your kids doing? You all right?
They're doing very well, mate. About yours?
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Right, yeah.
They loved it. I mean, my boys loved it. You know,
you still got to take them, you know that.
And it's happening. This is happening. Here's the thing, right? Dennis knows that I don't like football, despite him asking me 5 times who my team was. You couldn't understand that I didn't have a team. I don't like the game. But when I left the jungle, I went to New Zealand to see my niece and nephew, and I was shown. My nephew Dylan went, Iain, come have a look at this. I had to watch like a 45-minute YouTube video, the best of Dennis Wise.
I love it.
I had to sit there.
You spent 3 weeks with that fella.
I know,
Jesus.
blimey.
How's Jo? She all right?
She's good.
Yeah,
she's good.
They've
come back to England now. They've moved
brilliant.
back. But it turns out you weren't bad as a footballer.
I was all right, mate.
Some of
Honestly,
them were pretty sneaky goals.
They was okay, mate.
My boys are now, and I don't know where they don't get it from me, but they are now into football.
I love it.
And
perfect.
The eldest supports Chelsea.
Love it.
And I think the youngest
choice.
supports Manchester United.
Bad choice.
In that way that kids
bad choice.
do. But they're going, well, they're telling me where they are in the league and all, and I'm going, what? How is this? So it's going to happen. They're so excited about the thought of coming to
and Jo, I said to Jo as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, when she comes or whatever, sort it out and we'll get something going.
It was a weird old experience, wasn't it, the jungle?
Well, do you know what, right? It's coming out of there, and it's really funny. I think, and I spoke to Jamie, and Jamie said to me, do you know what, I miss it. And he missed it, you know. It was a really bizarre going in there and actually being in an environment where we haven't got no phones, we haven't got anything, didn't know what to do. A bit boring, wasn't it, at times?
Oh, God, mate, it was so dull for a lot of it.
And trying to entertain yourself and sleeping, not knowing what the time. There were so many bizarre things. What was the third thing you ate? I had about 6 crunchies.
I had, do you know what? I didn't eat all that day we came out, because I came out on the Monday, but then about 2 o'clock that night, I ordered pizza and big bowl of ice cream.
Yeah.
Big bowl of ice cream and a chocolate brownie was the thing.
Nice.
And that weight I lost 1.5 stone.
Yeah.
That went back on so quickly, man. So quickly. But you're right. It's funny, James. I miss it. I miss that
environment. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
You were in a bubble.
Yeah, it was bizarre when I came out because you know what? It was just bizarre. Like I came out, I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole thing, but glad to get out. But then I think back and I think, do you know what? I'd love to be in there again doing it.
Yeah.
Not that I want to go in there. I don't want to go back in there, but I'd love to be in the game because there's certain things I'd like to have done that I know I can't never do.
Yeah.
And it was like, loved it. Honestly, I really loved it.
Best bit and worst bit for you?
The worst bit. It was the eating because I had a bit of OCD, so I was a little bit the food, and I never ate, and I lost so much weight.
Yeah. You didn't eat a lot because you had trouble with the beans.
Well, Amir kept sticking the spoon when he's cooking. What drove me nuts? And I said to him, "What are you doing, Amir?" And he stuck the spoon in the food, tasted it, and put the spoon back in. It killed me. I can't eat that now. So it's kind of those silly little things that happen because I'd watch, and I didn't realise that Vanessa, Toff, and Becky kept watching me and they kept laughing, and after they told me, we found you quite funny because we was watching you when the food was happening. You walked away, come back, walked away, and it was just that kind of I struggled with. The best part of it was I think being there and not having anything, and just the whole experience of it. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to explain. I couldn't pick one bit out, but the whole thing, just being involved in it, knowing what it was like outside, watching it every year, and then actually knowing, because everyone thinks there's a game, but it's not. It's actually, you don't get any food. You don't get anything, and people say, well, the hotel's down the road.
I've had that.
Don't be stupid.
They came in and gave you beers and pizzas and stuff, though, didn't they?
No chance. We only had that when we won the scenario, when we got to I think it was the Fright Club, and then we what did we do? We won a challenge, didn't we? We won something, and then we sat and had
we went to the pub a couple of times. The karaoke. Oh, that was, you had to sit in the taxi.
That was it. Sit in the taxi.
Sit in the taxi.
And get it correct. That was it, yeah. So we had that, and that was brilliant. And it was nice to have a little sing-song and a beer, and a chill out.
Suspicious Minds.
Elvis, but they picked the wrong one for me because they you have to put a list down, and I put a Suspicious Mind wasn't on my list. It was 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Okay, go. That was what I had on there, and they chose that one. I thought,
sticks you up, mate.
God, done me up on that one.
Have you watched it? Because I've not
watched any of it.
I've watched.
Tell a lot.
Go on.
I watched only the Ant and Dec things. Them taking the mickey out of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you watched
it's the only ones. Yeah. No, I watched it on YouTube. That's the only thing. I've never watched it. Did they send you
They sent me the DVDs
I just
this
got
week.
the other week. Yeah.
I've watched most of my trials. Didn't watch the swimming one, and I've not watched the one I did with Jenny towards the end, which I don't know why I've not watched it. I've watched most of the trials, but that's it.
You didn't watch any of BT, any going through? I've not watched any of it. I went on to YouTube and I watched, because everyone was telling me about, when I walked out of there, I couldn't work it out on the little man syndrome thing or whatever that came out.
Funny.
Yeah, when I went out and everyone was saying, you're a very little man, and when you pick your phone up, all of a sudden you're looking at it and you think, what's all that about?
Yeah.
And then I played it. They played it in front of me, so then I watched it, and then I went, and I found it funny. Yeah. So then I decided to watch just all them clips. They're on one thing. And I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Absolutely hilarious. Anyway.
It's funny because obviously people will come out and they will do jokes, like they'll do the little man. For ages I didn't know what the little man thing was.
No,
and people were doing it, I just go, oh yeah, that's good. And then, I gathered that there are all these gags and jokes going on. And the thing that for me was, the weird thing was the tiny things they picked up on, like Amir mishearing Temple of Gloom as Temple of Glue. And in the camp, that was a 30-second thing. Did you hear Amir? He said Temple of Glue, you idiot.
Yeah.
But then that became a big thing on the outside, and they just pick up those tiny little things.
And it's really funny how they edit it, because you can see how they edit it in a certain way. And when you kind of you see it through the kind of the papers. You think, what's that about?
Oh, God.
What are they talking about? And you can't quite understand. You think, what have they done then? And they've obviously somehow edited it in a way, because I actually thought we had quite a nice group.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think you and me had two arguments.
Yeah.
Which ain't bad, considering,
No,
it's a camp full of hungry people who all smell of shit, basically. We stink.
You let us say that word in there.
No, we can. You can't say it over there.
Right.
But we, two arguments ain't bad.
No.
And when I came out, you got driven back and you're filmed in the car, and I'd literally just come out, and they give you all these newspaper clippings, bullied, tragic comic, and then they show you these clips, and they're going, right, what do you think about that? And I said, well, I probably said stuff behind there, but I've got no ill feelings.
Yeah, no. And the thing about it, I think most of the things that was, most of the stuff was said to you anyway.
Yeah.
Most of it anyway.
There was a couple of bits. There was Amir was
I think it was
stirring
Amir
the pot
that
a bit.
you got upset with by the looks of it. But I remember when we sat there, and it was really funny because when they edited one thing or something, someone said to me about, because when I came out, they said to me about airtime. I remember sitting there in the morning saying to you, about Jamie needed airtime and Toff needed airtime and Jenny needed airtime and you needed airtime, and it was good for all of you guys, and I think it's time for us to move on and go now. Do you know what I mean? Because it was important. I kind of got the whole thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean,
Do you remember that when we sat down?
I remember that. Yeah.
So and do you know what? They don't play none of that. They don't talk about none of that. And it's like they tried to clip it as if I was just kind of at you, and you think to yourself, "Oh, hold on, I said about the
But you did
whole
also
lot.
say you were going to do that, then disappear back into your property stuff.
Yeah,
I can't. You're on all the bloody time now, Dennis.
No. I want to do football things.
Yeah,
that was it. I've been asked to do other things that are really out of my remit, and that wasn't for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's certain stuff that's is not. There's a couple of shows that I asked. I don't want to do that. I'll stick to football, which I actually know. And I came out, and so many things came. It's really amazing. I'm sure you had loads.
Yeah. Of course.
G&B and all that. I was seeing you all over the place, which was great. And it's things that came out, and you kind of think, I don't know, shall I, shan't I? And actually, the football side of it, I've always enjoyed. I just decided to step away from it a long, long time because you want to see your kids grow up and do what you got to do. But then I done it. And it's kind of carried on. Then I seem to have quite a lot of people asking me to come and do the football, come and do this, come and talk sport is another one like this.
Sometimes you just got to remind people that you're there. That's, and something like I'm a Celebrity, they've got, look, it's Dennis Wise, and he can talk, he can string a set, we'll get him in, But it's nice, and it's the same for me. People are going, I remember him, he can talk, let's get him in and do a little bit.
And I bet, like you say, people... they see you here now, and they hear you, but now they know what you look like.
Yeah.
By seeing you on there, and obviously you stand out because of the size and the
tall fella.
Tell me about it. So I bet that was quite weird.
It is weird.
I mean?
I've not been recognised in the street for ages, and now it's wearing off now. But now all the time.
No, I don't think it will, mate. You have to remember, 12 million people watched it at night.
It will do when the next bunch of saps go in there.
That'll be next year, mate. You'll be back next year, don't worry. You'll be sitting on the Camp TV, mate. Was it Camp TV? Yeah.
It's so nice to see you, man.
You too, mate. I love you and leave you.
The football match is going to happen. We're definitely going to come. You know what's going on, and once that's sorted, we'll get you.
And your sister Jo, please. It's lovely to see you, Jo.
Give me a hug,
please.
Twice.
If you can, let me catch up with Jo.
Yeah, definitely, brother.
Be happy, man.
I will do. See you later on.
Take it easy.
Thank you, Dennis. Ta-ta. There you go. You see. Dear listener, 0344. We'll carry on the show now. 0344 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Right then. I need to, oh dear. Well, listen, if you're watching on... I need to, hang on a minute. Put the music up, Right, there we go. Right, 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. The Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio, weeknights from 10 on DAB, on app or online. Let's go to Jack. Oh, no. Hello, Jack?
Hello?
Hello, Jack?
Hello?
Yes, Jack?
Hello?
Hello, Jack?
Yes, Ian?
Jack?
Hello, Ian?
Yes?
Ian? Hi.
Yes, Jack?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Jack. How are you? It feels like we're talking through, a time barrier or something.
Sorry, I was on speaker. So, I've got some bad news for you, Ian.
Uh-oh! Well, you're going to stop calling me?
Well, I thought you liked it.
Yeah, okay, right. What's the bad news?
I got the car stuff, but I need to have it on for another 6 weeks.
Oh, no! Well, hang on. That's not bad news for me.
Oh, it's bad news for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not. Yeah. So it's not right. So that's not bad news. When you said bad news, I thought you meant bad news. Bad news for me.
Yeah.
No.
Well, actually, the good news for you is I'm not going to call you for another 6 months.
Oh, dude! What are we? Well, oh man, what are we gonna do, man? What are we gonna do, dude?
Wait, is it actually true that you're quitting being a radio presenter?
Is it what?
You said that you're going to stop being a radio presenter to be a...
That's correct.
Gamer.
I'm going to stop being a radio presenter to be a gamer. That's correct. Yeah, and today I was playing on the old virtual reality gamer thing. It was incredible.
And I saw you.
Did you? Well, there you go. It was incredible. The VR headset. I mean, the game was rubbish, but I was in like a bedroom, and I turned around, and there were these little robots behind me that were excited to see me. It was the freakiest shiz, man.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks. Let's go to Alan Caddick.
Hi, Mark.
There we go.
I've got a latest weather report for you.
Oh, a what?
A weather report.
A revel report?
Weather.
Revels?
No, weather.
Oh, weather. The weather. Okay.
It's snowing very bad in Birmingham.
Yeah, I know it's snowing. It's snowing quite bad across the whole country. I don't know if this is news to you, but that's what's going on.
Well, considering yesterday we had snowdrifts, and now today, at the moment, the snow is falling very steadily down at the moment.
I don't know if you know this, Alan. It's snowing everywhere and has been for quite a long time.
But tomorrow it's going to be stopping.
Thanks very much indeed. The soothsayer, Alan Caddick there. Let's go to Darren. Good evening, Darren.
Too sexy, Ian. And yours all right. Ian.
Take it off speakerphone.
I'm new phone, man. Hi.
Hello.
Ian, so the fourth point I was trying to make was, my biggest regret.
What?
I'm just asking you. I had a massive regret, and I'm just trying to be honest with you.
Okay. What's your? I tell you what. Let me ask you.
Come to the Newcastle rabbit hole. Well, that's what it was.
That's my greatest relief.
Oh, well, thanks very much.
You're very welcome.
Man.
You're very welcome.
God, it was true. I was trying to get to that point, 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to jump on a train and come up, but I was actually nervous.
The Newcastle gig wasn't 3 years ago.
Well, if I did see that, I wanted to come on it when it was only last year, wasn't it, or even this year?
It was last year. We were in Newcastle.
Yeah, he had a massive journey. I remember that. And the point was,
yes.
I was nervous because of the amount of silly arguments that we've had on the radio. But I was so tempted to just jump on the train and come up and say hello. But I didn't have the cojones to do so.
Don't tell me you've jumped on a train and you're now stood at Waterloo Station and you're about to walk over here.
Ian, I wouldn't go that far, like.
Okay.
I'm not your stalker, you know.
No, because to be a stalker, you'd have to have some form of intelligence, wouldn't you?
Ian, I've got more intelligence than you actually realise.
Go on then, prove it to me.
Well, ask us a question. Ask us a spelling word.
I'll ask you a spelling word, shall I?
Yes, please.
Okay,
yes, please.
Here's a spelling word. Labyrinth. Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. Labyry.
That is the incorrect answer. It's going to be one of those shows. Hello, Andre.
Is that Ian?
Yes, mate. You phoned in the Ian Lee show.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, all right, Ian?
I'm okay.
Can I turn the radio down? I thought you'd say it.
That's okay. So that's kind of how the show works. We have ex-footballers and nut jobs calling in. And that's pretty much... The last 24 minutes pretty much sums up how this show works, guys. You dig? If you want to give me a call, 0344 499 1000. That's the telephone number. I've got to watch what I say, because I've said to my there's going to be a story about me in the Sunday papers. Right? This is true. You know this is true. I'm going to be in the Sunday Mirror on Sunday, and what they've done is they've listened to the show. And then, like, 2 weeks later, they've gone, hang on a minute, that stuff that guy said on the show about divorce and drugs, let's type that up as a story. So my agent phoned me up and said, I've got some news, you're going to be in the Sunday Mirror. I said, what have they got? And then when he told me, I went, phew, it's only that. So they've taken me talking about the fact I'm getting divorced, and they've taken me saying that I've been a bit mentally wobbly since leaving Australia, and you know, a little bit. Go on, spell it again.
I'll spell it disestablished. Ian, please.
You spell disestablishmentarianism then. Ask you another one. Okay. How about spelling the word psychiatrist? P-S-C. Thanks very much for calling. Now, so what they've done, so there's a story in the papers, and it's basically me saying I'm getting the quotes are from here, saying I'm getting divorced, and I've been a bit wobbly around booze and drugs since coming out. But if you read it, I'm fine, right? I'm fine. But it's really made me think, well, I've got to be... And I kind of, when I said it, I thought, well, maybe someone will pick up on this, but I don't think anyone's interested in me anymore. But it would appear that I've got that wrong. So, spell psychology.
Right. Just kind of slow. Right. Psychology. P-S-Y-C-H-O-L-O-G-Y.
Well done.
Thanks, Ian.
You're very, very welcome. So it's made me think I've got to be really careful about what I say on the radio, because there's one thing, I am very precise about what I say on the radio, and I only say things on the radio. Kath, could you get this air conditioning on, please, because it's boiling. I only say things on the radio that I'm comfortable saying. Occasionally I'll let something slip that I'm uncomfortable with, but generally I'm very... spoken words are my tools, and I'm very careful about what I say. But there is something different for me in sharing something with you, the listener, as opposed to sharing something that's been taken out of context and chopped around a bit with readers of a Sunday newspaper. There's a big difference there between the two audiences, and I've just got to kind of get in my head, that potentially everything I say on this radio show could and will be used against me as evidence. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I need to just, back away a little bit from the honest revelations. But then I think, but then that's what makes the show so, I'm going to say it, bloody good. So up yours, Sunday Mirror, is what I will say to you. I don't know where that's going. That's not going anywhere. Right. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain Lee. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio.
Dear God, man, what do you want? Jeez, he's gone. I mean, he phones up for 20 minutes and then he goes. I got a feeling it's going to be one of those shows tonight. It's going to be one of those shows this evening. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You'd be more than welcome to. Shall we have a look at some of the stories in the newspapers? Let's. Do you know what? Let's not mess around. Let's get straight into the sex. Straight into the sex. There we go. Yes, 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 Prime Minister. What do you want, man?
Oh, I've only hit the slippery slope today, haven't I?
Go on, Andre.
I'm on the slippery slope in the weather.
Yes, I gathered it would be
Yes. No, I tripped over it.
Okay. Well, that's...
All right, but I got up. It was all right, though. I was all right then.
Yeah.
Once I got back to the top.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
But I'll just warn the listeners, don't go down the slippery slope.
Right. You're really hammering that that joke.
That message home.
Yes.
I'd like to be the coordinator of drink awareness on the show.
God almighty.
If that's okay. The drink awareness department, yeah?
Yes.
Is that all right?
The coordinator...
Oh, the coordinator, that's right, yeah.
Yes.
Drink awareness.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Can I take that position up?
I'm going to say thanks, but no thanks. It really is. It's a miracle. A true blue sector miracle is you. Ooh. You should be. I'm just trying to get us to stream this bloody thing on. There we go. We should be streaming on YouTube now, guys. If you go to youtube.com/rabbit hole, then is there going to be a picture? Is there going to be a picture? Oh, man alive. I'm trying this fancy thing where we stream the whole thing from multi-cameras on YouTube, and it looks all slick and it looks groovy, and you know what? It just ain't happening tonight, guys. It just ain't happening. We'll fiddle around with that in a little bit. So, here we go. This is the story. Theresa May has told how she stumbled on a couple having sex whilst out campaigning. Can you think of anything less sexually arousing than that? I certainly can't, dear listener. The PM confessed it wasn't the best time to ask if they were intending to vote Tory. And she joked they were giving a new meaning to the phrase deep and special partnership. Bloody hell. I mean, really. Mrs. May said, I was at the open door of a caravan. And I was at the open door of a caravan, and there was clearly some activity. Here's the thing. Reading this, I'm starting to think that this is a made-up story. That's what I'm starting to think. I'm starting to think this is a made-up story. Mrs. May said, I was at the open door of a caravan, and there was clearly some activity within. So I knocked. And there was no answer. But the activity persisted. Dear God. It looked like there was someone lying down. So I knocked again, and I put my head around the door. There was indeed somebody lying down. It was not one person, but two. Ay, 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 ay. A Number 10 source said the incident was historic, but could not say when it happened. I don't think this happened. I think this is a made-up story, guys. That's what I'm thinking. It's Theresa May trying to be cool. It is understood it was not during the 2017 election campaign. The PM peppered her speech at Wednesday night's Westminster Correspondents' Dinner with quips teasing dry Chancellor Philip Hammond and claiming absent ex-PM David Cameron was snowed into his wheelie shed. But what's a wheelie shed? What the hell is a wheelie shed? Mrs May slammed Jeremy... Oh, wait. She even threatened to call another election, saying, I can't pull that stunt 2 years in a row, or can I? I am, after all, going walking in Wales at Easter. Man alive. Stop making jokes, for crying out loud, and start sorting this bloody country out! Start sorting the bloody country out! Yes, Zach.
Hello?
Hello, Zach.
Good evening.
Yep, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. You don't care. What have you called in for?
Well, I just like the interview with... I like you talking to Dennis Wise.
Yep.
Such a brilliant man, such a funny man as well sometimes. Especially on I'm Celebrity.
Yep.
Bye.
Please hang up.
Okay.
Please?
I don't know. I mean... I don't know. Is that me? Was I trolling then? I hope I wasn't trolling then, but I just don't know. It's a weird vibe tonight. I say that almost every night. Let's be honest. A weird vibe. The weird vibes seem to follow me around. That's what seems to happen. Mrs May slammed Jeremy Corbyn for appearing on Iranian TV and jokingly compared him to Stalin, an ageing socialist demagogue maintaining power through a sinister personality cult. She added, if he became PM, she would be breaking rocks in John McDonnell's re-education camp on the Isle of Man. She is the driest, dullest human being in existence. And she should not be doing gags. I don't want gags. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone. If you want to give us a call, you can do. When was the last time you were caught by a future Prime Minister having sex? Call me now. 0344 499 1000. And by the way, everyone complaining about this weather, as George Galloway said to me off air, it's winter, Ian. It's winter. He's right. He's spot on. It's winter. And do you know what? It gets cold in winter. And you know what? Sometimes it snows in winter. Sometimes the snow comes down in June. We know that much. But sometimes it snows in winter. And that's what happens. And that's all right. That is all right. 0344 499 1000. I'm Ian Lee. This is Talk Radio.
The wild man of late night radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Ian Lee
on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000. Good evening, Rob.
Good evening, Mr. Lee. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Rob. What you got for us?
Well, it's Friday, and I haven't rung up in ages, but I know how much you enjoy doing puns. So this week's pun has been based on fish-based jobs.
Right.
So, for example, piano tuner.
Hang on. What? When have I ever done puns?
You love a pun. You hate the puns.
I hate puns.
I know, but I haven't done one in ages, so I thought I'd ring you up and give you one. Thought you might like a
give me one, eh? Oh, no, that's an innuendo. Sorry, I get the two confused. Right, okay, yes.
So it's this week. It's fish-based jobs.
Right.
For example,
But why? But is this apropos anything? Is there any reason for this?
Well, every Friday I do this as a Facebook thing, and I generally get a couple of hundred responses. But
you're going to get one from me, and it's going to end with off. But hang on a minute. But why fish paste? Fish paste? Why fish based? Why fish based? Why fish based?
Jobs.
Yes.
Because that's this week's topic.
But would you mean that's this week? I don't know what that means. That's this week's topic.
So every week is a different topic.
Yes.
This is just on my social stuff.
Right. Okay.
And this week's topic, as chosen by a friend of mine, not me this week, was it has to be it could be towns combined with TV programmes, or it could be songs combined with food brands, for example.
Yeah.
This week, fish combined with jobs. Do you want examples? No?
Go on then.
Piano tuner.
Okay.
Goalkeeper. Cod carrier.
Okay.
Solicitor, but any coming from you?
No, because I hate railway driver, but I hate. It's a mammal. It's a bloody mammal. You're out. I hate puns.
Bass guitarist.
You're a bastard. There you go. Flipping heck, imagine. Imagine. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You're welcome to. You can watch the show, youtube.com/rabbithole. It's we're playing around with bits and pieces tonight, so it's a little bit patchy, a little bit hit and miss, but we're just trying a couple of things here, and we're just trying a couple of things here, man, and just seeing what happens. This is why I don't have on Facebook. I've got like 6. Oh, forget that. That's boring. Here's what I've been doing today that's exciting. 2 things. Firstly, I've been playing on the virtual reality headset on the Xbox. I mentioned this the PlayStation. I mentioned this earlier. It is incredible. Kath, you've got to come round and have a go on my PlayStation. It's incredible. Oh yeah, the guy that told me to buy that game, Super Hot, right? I bought it. It's like 15, 20 quid. And I loaded it up. And then you've got to buy 2 controllers for 60 quid. So thanks a lot, dude, for nothing. But I was just in my flat just wearing these headsets going, oh, my God, what's going on? It's amazing. But then as well, before that, I was emailing New York City back and forth, compiling an excellent CD that of Imani Coppola. And basically, I'm just going through all of Imani Coppola's back catalogue and just picking songs that we're going to put out on a CD. It's incredible. And most of the ones I want, we can get. There's a few that we can't get because they're a bit tricky and they're sort of lost in the mists of time. But most of the ones we want to get. So that was kind of my creative jet. I also wrote a blog about about loneliness, which I don't know if you guys want to read. I don't want to bang on about it too much, because I don't want to bang on about it. I just don't want to bang on about it too much. But if you go to iainlee.com, you will see a blog that I wrote about, just like being lonely and how that can be an issue, and and I always get very embarrassed writing those kind of things. Not writing them. I don't get embarrassed writing them. That's stupid. I get embarrassed when I hit the publish button. But like when I wrote the blog about depression about, 3 years ago? 4 years ago? I don't know. Loads of you have been kind enough to get in touch and say that you identify with it and you understand, and you said some nice things. A couple of arseholes, of course, saying I don't think you know what loneliness is, mate. But that's fair enough. But it's there on iainlee.com if you want to go and have a look. And I know that when we have spoken about loneliness before, that afterwards, when I've done like live events and things, people have come up to me afterwards and said, I just want to say. So that's nice. So you read that if you want. It might, if you want to have a laugh, you can have a laugh. It might bring some comfort. Not comfort, but you might bring some, what's the word? Identification. That's the word. 0344 499 1000. It's quiet on the phone tonight, but I guess that's because of the snow. What does that even mean? That's not even a thing. It's quiet on the phones because of the snow? That is the biggest bullshine excuse I've ever heard in my life. What a dumb excuse, man. The phones are quiet because I'm not giving you the gold. The gold is going to come. Trust me. Even on my off days, the gold will come. Andre, you can put your phone down. You've had your crack of the whip tonight. No more whip cracking for you. A Coronation Street extra. This is the second best news story in the newspapers. Right. First best was Theresa May being a voyeur and watching people having sex for an hour. The second best story is on the same page, coincidentally. A Coronation Street extra has racked up a record 14 credited roles in the soap. Anthony Schaefer, and Andre, you can stop calling from a withheld number as well. Anthony Schaefer made his latest appearance this week when he popped into Audrey Roberts' hair salon. His first credited part, hey, I remember this, was in 1980 as the doctor who declared Renee Roberts dead after a car crash. I remember Renee Roberts dying in a car crash. She was learning to drive. Alf was teaching her to drive, and they were going up a country lane, and she was annoying him, so he said, get out and we'll swap over. And as he got out, a truck came around the bend and smashed into her. I would have been 7 when that happened. 6 or 7. Because I was 6 and I was 7 in the year 1980. And we need more to be more specific about, we are 2 ages in 1 year. And I remember seeing that as a 6 or 7-year-old, and it was so upsetting. It was so upsetting. Good evening, Neil.
What up? You all right?
I'm all right, Neil. Yeah, I like the street lingo, like the street slang there. Great.
I have no idea why I said that.
No, it's fine, man. You said it and it's fine.
It's happened. It's over. It's done.
What you got for us, Neil?
Can I come round and play on your VR machine, please?
For a £5 you can.
Cool. I'll give you £7.
That's if you make it a tenner, then we'll be quits.
Wicked. I don't know anyone who's got one, and I've always wanted to play on one.
Well, I got one, and here's the thing, right? Because they're like £365.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't have one.
I got given one.
I was going to
I got given one by my mate Will, who said I've got, because he like
we need friends like that.
Well, he reviews like video games and things, and he said I've got one you can have, and it's the most. I mean, listen, it's a gimmick. It's basically 3D all over again. It won't last, but it is pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, well, I grew up in those days. You know, like the Lawnmower Man, remember that?
Yeah, this is what we talked about yesterday, Lawnmower Man. Jeff Fahey was on the show recently.
Oh. Well, I don't really know who that is. Which one was that? Was that the main guy?
That was the Lawnmower Man. That was the one that wasn't Pierce Brosnan.
I'm rubbish at names.
Flipping it! You brought a film up. There's only 2 people in it: Pierce Brosnan and another guy.
The machines.
The what?
The machines, the VR machines that were in the thing. Do you remember
hang on, but you just mentioned the Lawnmower Man.
But it was all about VR, wasn't it?
Yeah, but there were 2 actors in it.
I don't know their names.
Okay, well you do now.
It's my dyslexia when it comes to names. Literally, the name you just said a minute ago is gone.
Okay, Steve Wayne's. Okay,
Steve Wayne's. I'll write it down.
Steve Wayne's down.
is his name Steve Wayne's Down, or do I?
Okay, thanks for calling. Why is everyone trying to do jokes tonight? Why is everyone? Why is everybody trying to do jokes tonight, guys? What the hell is going on with everybody trying to do jokes tonight? Everybody's trying to do jokes, and I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. 0344 499 1000. Oh.
Hello?
Hello there.
I love your radio show.
I know you do.
I actually do love you.
Okay.
Can you put on a radio show, please?
Can you what?
Am I broadcasting?
Oh, there we go. I think you will have heard that if you were watching on YouTube. You won't have heard that on the radio. Apologies to people watching on YouTube. We certainly don't. We certainly don't condone that kind of language. That was a big one. That was a big one, and we don't condone that. We don't allow that. I don't even say that word in my own private life. Yes, Zach.
Hello, I wanted to talk a little bit about mental health.
Okay.
Because you were talking about you had something on your website about it.
Yes.
So I feel like it's like such a big topic, and like people should know about it more. And what my school's doing about it, I think, is really, really good. Is they're having a class about it, that they pick some students who they think they're struggling, and they're going over everything about it. It's called Mental Health Investigated.
Yes.
And they go over all aspects of mental health and what causes it and how to tell if you've got mental illness. And I feel like more people should have that kind of opportunity to be able to have a course or something like that.
Okay.
Especially in schools.
Yes, I agree. I agree. It should be talked about in schools, and changes are happening, and it's happening, man. It's good. It's happening. It's a happening scene.
Whenever I think about it, or just talk about it generally, it just makes my mood, or just think. I just think about it.
Huh?
It just changes.
Have you been drinking?
No.
Okay, you sound like you've been drinking. Did you call us earlier?
Yeah, but I didn't know what to talk about, and I just wasn't.
Well, here's the thing. Right, it's always great to have you on. Of course it is. But sometimes, if you don't have anything to talk about on the show, you can just sit back and just dig the show. You can just listen.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It doesn't make you any less of a person. By if you don't phone in and talk on every show, and it makes people better callers when they kind of save stuff, when they're listening and they go, oh, that what he just said there, that I can talk about that. Or you get home and you go, oh, I've got this thing I've been wanting to talk about all day and I've had no one to tell. It just feels, and I'm not accusing you of this, Zach, but it just, we can tell when it's a bit forced, and so can the listener. And if people aren't calling in, that's fine. That's my job. That's what those are the shows I get paid for. So don't feel that you have to. I don't think any less of you if I don't see your name on my switchboard for a few days.
Okay, yeah. Well, I can't call in on the week until Friday because of boarding.
Okay.
So I just can't.
Okay. What did he say? Oh, he said can't. Okay, just thinking back to the previous call. Hey, Zach, listen, I've got to go, man. Nice one. Andre, put your phone down. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give me a call, you'd be very, very welcome. This is the Late Night Alternative, only here on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
He has made a covenant with the night, and with the darkness he is in agreement.
Uncut, after-hours conversation for the up-all-night generation.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Is it the weather? Is it the weather? There's something, isn't there? There's something There's something in the air. I can feel you coming in the air tonight. There's something, isn't there? There's the snow, the cold, the darkness. This whole, it's like end of days. It's kind of like an Armageddon vibe going on, and everybody feels a little bit. I love this weather, right? I love it because my boys love it. And yesterday I was dragging my youngest around on a sledge. Today both my boys have got upset stomachs, so I didn't. But I'm hoping tomorrow that they'll be better and I can go around it and they'll be up for a little bit of dragging on a sledge. We haven't got any hills near us, so it is just being dragged along the road on a sledge. But that's still fun. That's still good fun, guys. Isn't it? That's fun. Driving's a little bit tricky. I'm lucky, right? Worst came to the worst, I could have done this show from home. Now that we have a kind of special little bit of kit, a little computer program, and I've got a decent microphone, I could do the show from home if I needed to today. If I needed to, that was there. And I'm all up for, I'm sorry I can't come in today. It's no snow day. The main road where I live, I thought that was going to be okay. It was like an ice rink today. It was beautiful. That first moment when I hit the brakes as I approached the roundabout at a very slow speed, and I kept on moving, and it juddered. I thought, oh, yes, we are in for an exciting journey here. And here's the key to driving when the weather's like this. Drive slowly, leave a massive gap in front of you. That's it. That's all you got to do. You drive slowly and leave a massive gap. And if the bloke behind me gets up my arse, well, then I'm going to go even slower until he gets the hint. And if he doesn't get the hint from that, then he'll certainly get the hint when I start flicking in the V's. Because you can't start ploughing into the back of people. You've just got to go slowly, big gap in front. It's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting. Are these people moaning about the weather? God's sakes. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, Ian. How can anyone moan about this weather?
Well, I don't know, but people are finding it easy to moan about it, and I just don't get it.
You see, I'm a miserable man.
Yeah.
I don't like things. I'm a grump.
Yes.
But my little one loves the snow, and I like the snow, and I've always liked the snow.
Yeah.
Now, today, we made a snowman, and while we're building it, it's the wrong type of snow, by the way. It's too powdery.
Okay. Well, people are saying that, but I'm just thinking, if I was making a snowman, it would be a bloody good one, because I know how to manipulate snow. But anyway, carry on. That's what you told your boy. It's the wrong stuff. That's fine.
This is it. We got into the manipulation of the snow. It wouldn't roll, so I had to...
Hang on one second. I'm sorry to interrupt, Dan. This is actually, we've got breaking news. Catherine, sorry, something's just flashed up. Could you get on the microphone, please? Mm. What is this tea? This is disgusting.
English breakfast.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is.
No. That's... No, you taste that.
Or is that the one that's had mine in it?
Yeah, mate. That's like Earl Grey or something. So, I'm sorry, Dan. This is very important. That is bloody disgusting. What?
I'm now watching you supping the tea.
It was disgusting. It was disgusting. Right.
Try that one.
Let me try that.
There's actual anger in your eyes.
English breakfast now. Thank you. But now I've got the taste. What was that horrible tea in there? Earl Grey.
Special ladies' tea.
Oh, I was drinking Feminax. That's a joke for the ladies. Continue, Dan.
Yes, so I manipulated this snow.
Yes.
And it's magical.
Yes.
My daughter's there. She said, Daddy, will the snowman come to life like in that film with the snowman in it?
Oh.
I said,
did she mean Frosty the Snowman? That film?
I think she means The Snowman.
Oh, there's a film called The Snowman, is there, right? I'm David Bowie. The cartoon you're about to watch is one of my personal... It's true. On the original VHS, there's David Bowie introduces the Snowman.
It was my snowman. That little boy was me.
No, little boy was me, and he grew up to be a star man, David Bowie, and he did lots of cocaine and invented the World Wide Web, davidbowie.net.
He did.
Yeah.
Ran his own internet service provider, BowieNet.
There was vanilla chai in that tea. Imagine the words vanilla and chai. Vanilla is an ice cream, and chai is Indian for tea. So whoever drinks vanilla chai is bent.
I am shocked.
Yep, there we go.
I've done the one thing with the snowman, though, Ian, that I can possibly do to keep this on track.
If you put dildo in for its nose? Did someone phone in yesterday and say they put a dildo in for its nose?
No, I used a carrot. I'm a traditionalist.
We're still talking about the nose, yeah?
Just about.
Okay.
Well, my daughter was wondering, will this snowman come to life?
Yeah, yes, like David Bowie, yeah.
Yeah. I've done the one thing that I can do to keep the magic alive with her. She's only 5.
Yeah.
I've moved the snowman.
Whoa! There's a dad! There's a dad!
So it was on the left-hand side of my garden, facing into the window, so she could look at it in the front room.
Yeah.
It's now on the footpath leading out of the garden.
How do you move...
the street.
How do you move a snowman?
I'm strong.
Right. Okay, fair enough. But here's what you could have done. You could have just knocked it down and trampled the snow down and just said, well, yeah, he went. He flew off.
But no, that's not the magic, isn't it?
That's magic.
Keep the magic.
That's magic. He's gone.
She got me the free day off work.
Yes.
I have to keep the magic alive in return.
I like your coconuts. Okay, well done. That's good. You've done some good dadding there, Dan, and you should be very, very proud of yourself.
And do you know why I'm proud of it?
Go on.
Because I know my dad did the same 32 years ago.
Well, I've got some news for you, Dan. I spoke to your dad, and he didn't move that snowman. That snowman moved all by himself. That makes you a bad son and a bad dad.
Oh, well, I'm lied to and lying.
Yep, there we go. Thank you very much indeed. The middle of the lie chain. How can anyone complain? I mean, all right, so it's cold, all right? And so, okay, and, you know, people are dying and stuff. That bit obviously is bad. That's bad news, definitely. But the weather is... And, it's a faff. That's all it is. It's a faff. Put on base layers. My eldest is obsessed with base layers. It's a phrase he's obviously heard at school, and he wants to wear base layers. So just put on like loads of layers, thick coat. I've found a big pink woolly hat that I'm wearing. I don't care that I look ridiculous. I don't care. You look ridiculous. I don't care. I've got a warm head and warm ears. You're cold. No, I'm not. I've got a cool hat. Well, that's true, but I don't care. So people are complaining about it. Oh, the bloody schools are shut. And in my day, we never had a snow day. Yeah, I know. So we were unlucky. I'd love to have had a snow day at school. Our kids are lucky enough to get snow days. So let's celebrate. It'll be gone by Monday, Tuesday, probably, the snow. I don't know. I've not looked at the weather forecast. I have literally no idea what the weather's going to be like. I'm assuming it'll be gone by Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we'll be like, oh, I miss the snow. Get over it. Snow goes. It's life. It's life. Snow is a metaphor for life. Snow comes, snow goes. I was doing this fella, wasn't I? A Coronation Street extra has racked up a record 14 credited roles in the soap. Anthony Schaefer made his latest appearance this week when he popped into Audrey Roberts' hair salon. His first credited part was in 1980 as the doctor who declared Renee Roberts dead after a car crash. Since then, he has been various people, including a constable, a teacher, 2 different solicitors, 2 car salesmen, and a court clerk. Fan website Corripedia puts Anthony out in front for credited roles on the ITV programme. He's also had parts in Emmerdale and Heartbeat. And here is a list of people he's played. Number 1, Dr. Edwards, who tried to treat the mortally injured Renee Roberts in July 1980, so I would have been 7. PC Leach, who breathalyzed Jack Duckworth in October 1984. Loads of others. Loads of others. Then the last one is February of this year, a male client in Audrey's hair salon who was insulted by Bethany Platt. I have got the best plot twist for Coronation Street, right? This is a stroke of genius, right? And if Coronation Street were bold enough to reply to my letters and emails about this plot twist and put it in, seriously, right? It's going to sound like I'm making a joke, right? And I promise you, I'm not joking, okay? This plot twist would be groundbreaking, and it would win Coronation Street awards. Forget you can forget EastEnders. And here is the plot twist, right? And I'm not in any way making light of it. It could be used as a great way for soap operas to, you know, as they often do, highlight social issues, right? If it came out that Roy Cropper was a paedophile and had been for years. So all I'm going to say, I'm not making light. You know me, guys. I'm not making light of that issue. I would never joke about that. I just think, as a soap opera twist, one person comes out and says, "I've got to tell something happened between me and Roy Cropper," and then several of the actors who had been, you know, who'd grown up in the soap came out, and I just think, wouldn't that be an amazing storyline? Wouldn't it? I mean, it would be unwatchable for some people, painful for some people, but an incredible storyline. 0344 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Good evening, Dave.
Evening there, Ian. I was just coming back with some technical feedback. So I know you're messing about with your live.
We're coming out. I know we're broadcasting in one speaker, which is frustrating, but...
Well, that was what I was calling about.
Oh, is that what you were going to say?
Yeah, it's all left speaker heavy.
And here's the thing, for those who don't know, we're playing around with some bits and pieces, and I'm trying not to let it dominate the show too much, but we're trying different ways of streaming the show on YouTube, and using a new system tonight, Wirecast, because it's allowing me to stream from not only a camera but also my phone, which is over there, and I can see on my thing that it's only coming out of one speaker, and I am buggered if I know how to turn it around.
At least I can tell you that the echo's gone.
I know what the echo was, because it was coming through the phone as well as through the quad cap. It was so geeky and so. Do you know about this stuff then, Dave? Because I'll be honest, I'm at my wit's end trying to work out this nonsense.
I'm afraid, without being there, I couldn't, without messing about with stuff. Afraid not.
Okay, right, all right.
If it was here, I could probably fiddle with stuff.
This is the thing. If I wasn't on a radio show,
yeah, no.
but then for me to test,
the only chance you get to.
Well, yeah, but for me to test it with the sound thing plugged in, I've got to be on a radio show. Maybe I'll have a little fiddle with it over the weekend and sort it out. I don't know. I think here's what I want to do ultimately, Dave. Is I want to do like a live TV show. Me and Kath want to do a live TV show with like 3 cameras and guests and stuff like that. And I'm starting to think that maybe it is not possible with...
It sounds a bit tricky.
It does sound tricky. It is tricky. It is tricky.
How do you choose which camera's showing at which time?
I'm doing it in front of me. Right, someone's telling me now it's now coming out... I'm doing it. I've got a little... There we go, I've just changed it now. Someone's telling me it's now coming out of both speakers.
I'll have to put my headphones on.
Put it on your headphones on. I don't believe that.
Do you want me to check very quickly?
Yeah, go on, have a little check. Go on, have a check. Go on. No one's listening. No one's calling in. Go on, have a little check. Hello, Dave. Can you hear me?
No, it's still left for me.
Yeah, exactly. It's still showing left on my computer. Oh well, these things. These things. Well, you know, I'm trying to do something a little bit different, and it don't always work. So be prepared to fail, Dave, and I may be failing. That's okay, and that's fine if that's the case. Hey, thanks for calling, man.
No problem.
Cheers, ta-ta. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give me a call. You'd be very welcome. Cabnapped. Uber driver took off with our baby in the back and didn't realise for an hour. A taxi driver accidentally made off with a customer's seven-month-old baby in the back of his car and didn't realise she was there for almost an hour. Flipping it, man. Mum, Elizabeth Katopa, 31, was horrified when she got out of the Uber vehicle to walk away. No, when she got out of the Uber vehicle to walk around and unstrap her daughter, only for the driver to head off, not realising the top was still there. OK, so she got out on the left and she went round to the right. OK, right. He went... This is brilliant. He went on to pick up 2 more fares before finally being alerted to the presence of little Olivia Hope asleep in the back. The first customer, after Mrs. Katompa, did not think to question the driver about the tot who was snoozing soundly. Yes, Darren?
Yeah, that's Iain. In gaming, in the gaming genre.
Yeah.
I was been trying to follow you the other day. What sort of games do you like, firstly, if you don't mind asking?
I like games where you run around shooting people. I call it training.
Shooters. God almighty. The most famous one, what's it called? God. Call of Duty.
Right, yes.
Right?
Yes.
There was there was a game on the other day, and I managed to find you somehow, and it really looked quirky, but it wasn't Call of Duty game.
I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I seen you on it. You podcasted or broadcasted even that there was a game, right?
Yes.
That you were playing. So I went on it, and it was I wouldn't call it a cartoony type game. It was
Overwatch.
A totally
What
game.
Overwatch? Where are we going with this?
God, you don't want me to phone you at all. I'm just
For
trying to phone you.
crying out loud, man! Will you stop doing that nonsense? This is the 4th call you've made tonight, Darren. Every call ends the same with you going, "Oh, you don't want me to call, man. I'm not going to call anymore, man."
Right, all right, and I'll stop that, right? It was, you know how you were going to leave talk radio, right?
Yes.
To game stream.
Yes.
Well, my point was this: I like watching game streams. I quite enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay. Yes.
So there was a game the other day, and I'm sorry for not remembering it.
Yes.
But it was a quirky old game, and I was enjoying watching it. But
Yes.
I do not remember.
It was called Overwatch.
There you go. That's all I'm trying to find out.
Okay.
Am I allowed to ask what game and tag? Or
I'm Mr._Iain_Lee.
Right. Like I'm supposed to remember that, but no problem.
You just asked me, and I told you. What?
Yes,
What?
Ian, I can't remember when you...
Well, then why did you ask me?
So
you thought it was going to be, I'm the number 7. Oh, I remember that. Why did you ask me?
Is it me or why do I get shouted at by yourself?
Because you're the most frustrating person in the world.
So therefore, am I bored for life?
Will you stop going on about being barred for life. You'll be barred for life when you hear me say the words, you are barred for life.
Well, he just did, so thanks very much for...
There's the F-bomb! There's the F-bomb, Darren! You can't resist it! Flipping heck! Tell me when we've got delay, please. Tell me when we've got delay. I mean, there was an F-bomb there, guys. How much delay have we got? All right. Oh, man.
Hi.
Stop swearing, man, and stop flouncing off like a 13-year-old schoolgirl.
Right, sorry.
Right. Just please don't phone up my show and drop an F-bomb. One more F-bomb from you, Darren. You will be banned for life, mate. Because I'm sick and tired of you phoning up and effing and jeffing when you have a little hissy fit.
Oh, yes. Massive apologies for that. Right, someone can get to the point.
No. We're done for tonight, right? We are done for tonight. Because I am angry. Cause...
What on earth is the point? You know, I love listening to you. What's the point?
Right. He's going to hang up again. Where are you putting the phone down again for?
I'm not putting the phone down, Ian.
Then you're the only caller, the only other caller that got like this was a bloke from Lichfield, right? Who doesn't call anymore, right? And that was his choice. But you're the only one who at the end of 80% of your calls, am I on speakerphone?
Right, sorry. Take it off.
You're the only one who.
Hi.
The end of 80% of your calls, you go, right, I'm a banned. Right, I'm never calling again.
How do you know that's 80%, or is that a guess?
It's a pretty darn good estimate. I'm good at estimations.
Fair enough.
Just stop it, man. Because I tell you what, the next time that you bring up being banned from my show, I'm going to take you up on your offer.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Right. Now, can we get back to the point I was talking about?
No, we can't, because the point is we're done for tonight, Darren. Right? You've had a fair crack at the whip.
Oh, God. I've had a fair crack at the whip, but I've been slated left, right and centre. No problem, Ian. It's really been good to talk and listen to you. I just want to know what your bloody gaming tag was.
I told you what my gaming tag was, and then you got a massive cob on because it was too long for you to remember.
Oh, well, God. Sorry for not being as intelligent yourself, eh?
You asked me what it was. I told you. You instantly said, how am I supposed to bloody remember that?
Ian, can I ask you one question?
No, because you won't remember the answer.
No, I'm not on speakerphone, so why deafen my left ear?
Because it seems to be the only way that informazione goes into that thick Scullington of yours.
Oh, I do not be personal like that towards yourself, right? And what is the point of that, man? It's just downright nasty to us, man. God almighty. All I wanted to do was watch you online. God, is that so much of a crime? Obviously not. Good night.
Let's go to the break.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
03444991000 is the telephone number. Hello, Jemma.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at the last call there.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Sorry. No, okay. Straight face.
What have you got for us tonight?
Just whenever you brought up the thing there about Roy Cropper and the possibility of the paedophile storyline.
Yes.
It just made me think of something that's happening in Northern Ireland at the minute, but something that's happening all over England and everywhere as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite controversial. Some people agree with it. Yes. Some people don't. You've maybe seen it on Facebook yourself. Yes. I'm sure others listening have have seen it.
Yes.
The paedophile hunter stings and stuff that that go on.
Yes. These are the people that pretend to be 13-year-old girls on like websites, and then they lure paedophiles to meet them, and they film it and they hand it all over to the police. Yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you know what's going on in Northern Ireland.
No,
but,
I don't know what's going on. Go on.
It's all over the news. Pretty much all the groups in Northern Ireland, the main hunters have been arrested and charged with God knows how many offences.
The hunters have been arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hang on. If they've been arrested and charged, are we allowed to talk about this, Kath? I don't want to get into trouble with either coppers or anything like that. I don't know if we
all over the news.
Well, okay. Well, tell me tell me the headline news story.
Well, from what I've seen in the news, it started off with 3 of them getting arrested, and between 3 of them, there was 58 charges brought against 3 of them.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. All right. We got enough. That's enough. Kath, if you could find that story, and if you could email it to me, so I could. We've got to be careful because they've been they've been charged. Then we can't really talk about it. Is the law of the land.
Right, okay. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, it's called sub judice.
Well, since that, there's been more arrested and charged.
Okay, well,
that was just the start of it.
Can't talk about those.
But it seems to be in England, things are still going on, as normal.
Well, it's normal with. I'm not a fan of people going outside the law. I'm not a fan of vigilantism. I'm also, has to be said, I'm going to say it now, I'm not a fan of paedophilia. So that puts my liberal head in a right old pickle.
But you see, this is where I'm going to bring in the debate.
Okay.
Is it against, not is it against the law, but is it vigilantism or whatever you call it? We'll talk about what's going on in England because, nothing's happening with the law there.
Yeah.
But, these groups, they're setting up, profiles online. They're waiting for the predators, I think, as they call them, to contact them.
Yes.
So from what I can gather, there's no entrapment.
Right. But look, but the question was, is it vigilantism? Yes, it is.
But there's no violence at all used.
Vigilantism doesn't necessarily mean there's violence. You're thinking of Charles Bronson in the Death Wish movies. It doesn't necessarily mean that there is going to be violence.
Yeah, everything's all handed over to the police, though.
Right.
The reason why they're streamed online, well, this is what the groups say, it's for awareness. Right. And, the groups in England,
here we go.
They're getting convictions.
I'll read you the definition of vigilante. A member of a self-appointed group of citizens who undertake law enforcement in their community without legal authority, typically because the legal agencies are thought to be inadequate. That describes perfectly these people that go out and entrap paedophiles. It's vigilantism by the dictionary definition.
I don't know if I would agree with that or not.
Well. Okay. Well, then let's go through it bit by bit, and you tell me which bit of this definition you disagree with. A member of a self-appointed group of citizens who undertake law enforcement.
Okay. Well,
do you disagree with that?
They do sometimes put them under citizens' arrest.
No. But law enforcement also means catching criminals. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, but they're handing them over to the police.
Yeah, but they are... Are you being deliberately obtuse? Because that is the perfect definition of... They are doing law enforcement. They are enforcing law.
Well, they're catching them for the police, I suppose. So, yes, I'll give you that one.
In their community without legal authority... And why do you think that they're doing it?
to spread awareness, to catch these people, to...
No, they're doing it because they think that the police aren't up to scratch on it. The police aren't doing enough.
They feel that the police, they don't have the resources.
Typically because the legal agencies are thought to be inadequate. It's the literal definition of vigilantism.
Okay, you got me on that one.
I did get you on that one. Good. Okay, right. So next point. Why? I don't understand why you're so bothered by it.
It's just, I suppose I'm a mother with a child, and, you know, the thought of... It's the fact that whenever these people are sent to prison or whatever, sometimes they're just a slap in the wrist, they're let out, their identities are hidden. You know, we have no way of knowing who they are.
Right. Okay. So you're worried about paedophiles. These guys aren't helping.
Yeah,
I'm reading. Well, don't be, because it's still really, really rare. These guys. I'm reading this case, right, and these guys. Well, they've not been arrested and charged simply for catching paedophiles.
No, the fact.
Right. So you knew that. You phoned up and implied that they were being arrested and charged simply for catching paedophiles. And you read the story...
I said there was 58 charges.
Yeah.
You told me that I couldn't go into the charges.
Yeah. But you've read the story, so you know that they are accused of doing stuff outside of catching paedophiles.
You wouldn't allow me to say that.
Okay, well, because I tell you why, because I'm quite aware of the law. And we have to be really careful what we say about ongoing court cases.
And that's fair enough, and that's why I said then let's talk about what's happening in England.
Okay, right. Let's read their charges, shall we?
There's quite a list there.
Okay. I'll read the story. This is from the BBC website from the 20th of February. 3 men have appeared in court facing a total of 56 charges in relation to so-called paedophile hunting groups. Among the charges they face are assault, unlawful imprisonment and intimidation. All 3 were released on bail. They were banned from using any social media platforms, dating apps or mobile phones with internet access.
With internet access.
Yeah. Then it goes on to name the men. We don't need to name them. A police sergeant told Belfast Magistrates Court, "We don't believe that they have been assisting police because they have been told continuously to desist from this activity. They have chosen to carry on and detain individuals and carry out their own investigations." The trio are also accused of attempting unlawfully by force, threats or menaces to cause BBC journalist Kevin McGee to refrain from broadcasting an interview on television, as well as disorderly behaviour. Mr. Keenan also, one of them also faces charges dating from September of unlawful imprisonment, assault, detaining people against their will and forcing people to leave homes. He's also accused of failing to give information to police. Forcing people to leave their homes. One is also alleged to have accused a person of being a pedo in front of a crowd in Banbridge with the intention of breaching the peace. You can't do that stuff. You can't do that stuff. Now, whether they've done it or not, I don't know, and let's let the police deal with that. But,
well, obviously, all I know is what I've seen.
Right. So you're upset that people have been arrested and charged when it would appear from that list that they have been charged with stuff that is thoroughly unpleasant. Now, there'll be a court case and we'll find out what happens. But you can't go around threatening people. You can't go around intimidating people. You can't go around bullying people. You can't do it.
I think that's where you've got me wrong.
You can go... What? You're saying you can go around threatening and bullying and intimidating people?
You've got me wrong whenever you said that I'm upset because this has happened.
Well, no, I'm not. Well, you tell me. I've not said you're upset. You're obviously there's obviously something going on that you feel the need to bring this up, and I don't quite get what it is. Anyone who is violent or is a thug or whatever, they should be prosecuted.
No, it's I follow the Northern Ireland groups, obviously, but I follow the English groups as well.
Yeah.
It is something that, I suppose it would be close to every parent's heart. It's something that, nobody wants on their doorstep.
No, but you could be a paedophile.
There's quite a few people I know that follow these groups, and it's just whenever you happen to mention the Roy Cropper thing, I thought, well, ooh.
Yeah, I can't cheer on.
Ring up and...
I can't cheer on vigilantes. I can't do it, I'm afraid, because I'm old-fashioned. There was a story. I'll tell you why. There was a story.
I'm not going either way.
Okay.
I'm not going either way.
There was a story.
I'm just bringing up to.
Okay. There was a story last year. There was a
little bit of a debate going.
Okay, there was a story last year about this fella whose name escapes me, and I forget where he was from. I'm going to say Iranian, but I may be wrong. And he lived in a council flat, and he had lovely flower box outside, and it was his pride and his joy.
Did this fall on somebody's head?
It kept getting vandalised by a group of teenagers. And he would come out and he'd tell them to piss off, and they would shout names at him and stuff. And it kept going on and on and on. And it was driving him nuts. So one day, the kids were there, and to get evidence for the police, he came out with a camera. And he took photos of these kids messing with his flower box. So word got around that this guy was a pedo. And people would stand outside his flat and call him a pedo. Bijan Ebrahimi, thank you. Where was he from, Catherine? Was he Iranian? Bijan Ebrahimi. And they would just, groups of kids would late at night would shout he was a pedo and push stuff through his letterbox and things like that. And people would complain to the police about this paedophile immigrant, originally from Iran. And he was called in.
This guy had done nothing wrong.
He was called in and he was questioned. And he was seen, as he was taken away by the police, people stood and cheered. People stood and cheered that the local pedo was being taken away by the police. And then when he came back and was released, people got really, really angry, as they would, because there was a paedophile living in their block of flats.
And he's not a pedo at all.
So they got him out, they kicked the shit out of him, and they burnt him to death.
That is horrific.
And that is why I can't support any form of vigilantism, because, sure, all right, they might find 10 people, but one person like Bijan Ebrahimi dying means that vigilantism doesn't work. Doesn't work. And the police might be awful, and they might be slow, they might be corrupt in some places. Who knows? He was the same age as me when this happened, 44, 2013. But you can't have groups of people operating outside of the law, because innocent people at best have their lives ruined. At best have their lives ruined. At worst get burnt to death.
I think if you really want to know my personal opinion in the whole thing, I don't think it's the police's fault. I think it's the resources. The police themselves don't have the resources to be able to deal with it. So it's not the police's fault. I think in principle, I agree with what the groups are trying to do, with what they stand for. But I agree about the violence thing.
Yep.
I also agree with the possibility of getting the wrong person, somebody's life being ruined, possibly being killed, but not even that. It's the possibility of, even if they do get the right person, what happens if that person's house is attacked and there's innocent family members or something in that house?
You can't have vigilantism. Jemma, thank you very much indeed. 03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
Jacked up jive talk for janitors, jazz cats, and gin-soaked boys and girls.
Is that Commando?
If you're awake, you're welcome.
I've got 5 cactus needles stuck in my...
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Evening, Sean. Hello. Hello, Sean.
Hello.
Hello, Sean.
Hello.
Hello. Is that Sean?
It's not Sean. It's Lloyd.
Who?
Lloyd, as in the Welsh name Lloyd.
Louis?
No, Lloyd.
Okay. Why did you tell Catherine Sean?
I didn't tell her Sean. I told her Lloyd.
Are you lying?
No, I was christened. Well, I wasn't christened, but I was supposed to have my birth certificate.
Okay, well, in that case, Catherine, you're a liar. It's on his birth certificate, for crying out loud. And we will be, I have to say, next week, new laws come into place. We will be asking for identification from all of our callers. Well, Lloyd, what have you got for us tonight?
Well, I didn't really call in with anything in particular to
That's the way we
talk about. I just thought I listen every night, pretty much, and I just thought I'd ring in and speak to you, if you don't mind.
Oh, well, you've rung in and you're speaking to me. There we go. Fantastic. How's your day going, Lloyd?
Well, it's like the start of the weekend, and all was good, if you know what I mean.
It's the freaking weekend, baby. I'm about to have me some fun, huh?
I'm quite sort of impressed. I'm actually speaking to you on the radio, to be honest.
These things, you should have called in earlier on. We had the football star Dennis Wise in the studio.
Yeah, I heard that bit, yeah.
Yeah. What have you got planned for this weekend then, Lloyd?
I'm probably going to clear the 1 foot thick snow off my path.
Yeah.
So I can walk out of my house without going outside with it, if you know what I mean.
Don't worry about it. It'll melt. So stay indoors and watch films, read books, listen to music, make love to yourself, eat, drink, be merry. You don't need to go out tomorrow.
No, I don't know to, no.
Well, then the snow will melt. The snow will be melted by Monday.
Yeah, I might have to go out and adjust the door on my local shop, though, because their door's not shutting properly. So
the old...
Going in.
Yes. Well, you need to sort that out, don't you? That needs to be...
I know how to adjust it. It's just a case of going down there and sorting it out for them, if you know what I mean.
Well, then you can go. You go and do that, and you sound like an excellent member of the community to be helping out like that.
Well, I'm an engineer.
I see.
I work milling machines and I work lathes and milling machines.
Have you ever lost a finger or had gone blind in one eye?
No, I've been very careful through my career so far.
That's it. Those saps that chop off fingers and get bits.
It's very easily done, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Only takes a moment of lapse of concentration, and they're gone.
You're gone. As simple as that, man. Well, you've got to be so careful these days.
Yeah. I must be such a boring call.
No, hey, listen. No, not at all, man. And I'm really glad you've called. And I hope you don't think I'm giving you a hard time. It's a weird old show tonight, and I think everybody is feeling. It's been quite tense. And I think everybody's feeling a little bit, I don't know, stir crazy. I've heard the phrase cabin fever mentioned 3 times in the last 2 days. And I wonder if people are suffering from that a little bit. And it's funny because it's only been snowing, 2 days?
Yeah.
And we all go actually properly mental after 2 days of snow.
I've been quite enjoying it, to be fair.
Good.
I only have to drive about 2 miles to work, and it's quite good fun when you get on the back roads and you can sort of play a little bit, if you know what I mean, in your car.
Yeah, play a little bit in the back roads, eh? Cheeky?
As long as it's safe.
Yeah, exactly. You've always got to rubber up, is what I say, if you're going to play in the back roads. Definitely. Definitely. I'm talking about rubber boots. I'm talking about galoshes. Galoshes! No one says galosh. Am I saying galoshes or galoshes? Galoshes. Galoshes?
Oh, God. I was watching on the rabbit hole thing on the internet earlier, and I turned it off and put the radio back on because it sort of done my head in a little bit.
What, the video?
Seeing you there in the studio, and so I'm used to listening to you on the radio, if you know.
Well, it is meant to be a radio show, and I'm going to turn the video stream off at midnight because we've had a nice little play around with it, but I think we're done for tonight. It's here's the thing. In today's cutthroat media world, Mark, being just a radio show, unfortunately, isn't enough. You've got to have so many followers on Twitter. You've got to be streaming it. You've got to be clipping bits of it. You've got to be tweeting. You've got to do all this stuff. You can't just be you can't just be a radio show anymore. You've got to be everything else.
I remember you from back in the days when you was on telly, back in the probably late 80s, early 90s, I would have thought it'd be, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Late 80s, late 90s? Blimey, Lloyd.
I don't know exactly.
The 11 o'clock show started in September 1998.
98, was it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, exactly. For goodness sakes.
Well, that was the first time you was on the telly.
Yes, it was. Maybe you're thinking of Richard Bacon. I'm often confused for Richard.
What was the first programme you was on?
Did you ever see a thing called The Word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to have Reef on it, didn't it? And
Hufty?
Yeah, that's where I first knew you from, I think.
Yep.
From The Word.
All right, Lloyd, listen, I've got to go to the news now.
Yep.
Thanks for calling, man.
Cheers, mate. I'll call again sometime.
Please do, mate. Keep those fingers safe. 0344. Morgan and Mark, stay there. We'll come to you in a bit. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Another hour to go. We'll invite Ms. Catherine Boyle into the studio for the last hour of the show. Just as the video camera's been turned off. Sorry, lads. And indeed, some of the ladies. It's 2018. And gender and sexuality is not a plus or a minus. There is a whole heap of other mathematical symbols in there. But me, personally, I'm a long division. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Oh, I don't know what's going on there. We're getting... what was going on there? We were doubling up while we were doing that. That's right, it don't matter. It's one of those... It's weird old...
Hey!
Flipping heck, Imani, please. Hold your horses. Weird old vibe tonight.
Very strange.
I think it's partly me. I've been a little bit distracted trying to sort out this video thing. And when we get it going, guys, it's going to be really good. But it's a bit naughty of me to do it on air, so I think I'm going to hold those experiments at bay. But I do think it's the weather. It's 3 times I've heard people use the phrase cabin fever, and I think that's what they've got.
For the first time ever here.
Yeah.
If not for the first time ever, and certainly in a long time, I had to tell someone to watch their attitude with me on the phones.
Gosh.
Today, what's going on, guys? Why is everyone in a mood?
Last hour of the show, Martin Kellner will be on at 1 o'clock. You can give me a call between now and then. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Stephen Page podcast. There's a problem with the podcast, isn't there?
They just won't upload.
Okay, so the Stephen Page podcast will go out on Monday.
Yeah.
Which should be a nice little thing to pop up in your pockets. Let's go to Morgan. Good evening, Morgan.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Morgan.
Oh, I'll tell you what, right, I don't know what it is, but the show's been really, tense. So I've kind of got a bit of a lighter note for the show tonight.
Yeah.
And what do you think is the greatest decade of music?
I would say the 1840s. Is that when Handel was around? I feel like the 1840s. Handel. When Handel was knocking out those...
Was it Handel before that?
I got literally no idea. I'm really,
Yeah, 1741.
Okay.
He did the Messiah.
No, but 100 years later, but there was like a renaissance of his work. That's what I was talking about.
The reboot.
The reboot.
The all-woman reboot.
Yeah. That, like the 1740s or something.
Who's Handel?
Sorry?
Who's Handel?
The Handels took all the Vandals. No, the other way around. He's a decomposing composer. Okay. Well, you're going to say like the 1970s, aren't you?
I was going to say 80s.
Because you're younger, and that's it. Remind me how old you are. You're young, aren't you? More. You're like 18 or something.
I'm 16.
16, right. So, of course, you're going to say the 80s.
It looks glossy to you.
Well, I thought, actually, no, statistically, you should be saying the 90s, because everyone likes to look back about 20 years. God, I'm going to sound like my mum.
Do it anyway.
I'm going to do it. Trust me, Morgan, as someone who lived through it, the 80s weren't that much.
Yeah?
Yeah, they were rubbish. They were rubbish.
If you look at them on telly, they look an awful lot like the 70s.
Here's the thing I found out, because when I was growing up, right, the 60s was my era that I really liked. I grew up in the 80s. I became musically aware sort of in the mid-80s, but the 60s were what I looked back on, right? And, of course, the 60s, as we all know, it's the Beatles, it's the Who, it's the Beach Boys, it's that. But, of course, when you start digging deeper... No. As well as the Beach Boys and the Beatles and the Who, there were tons and tons and tons and tons of utter crap. For every Beatles single, there were 200 pieces of absolute tosh that came out. Awful stuff. But, of course, the awful stuff doesn't get passed down and doesn't get played on Capitol Gold and all of that. And the same with the 80s, for every... I'm trying to sound hip. For every Depeche Mode single, there was an Agadoo. It was, though, wasn't there? It was.
But personally, 70s was good as well, because it had really good bands like Pink Floyd's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it had some crapola as well.
Yeah, there was. The 70s are great because they had Tony Orlando and Dawn. They had the Brotherhood of Man, and there were the New Seekers as well.
Renee and Renato.
That were the 80s.
Oh.
So, obviously, don't mind me asking, what year was you born in?
I was born under a wandering star. 1973.
73. So what? That would make you
old. It makes me old. That's what it makes me old. In March, April, May, June. In 3 months, I'm going to be 45. Dear God, shoot me now. Not literally. I'm old, man. I am old. And if I can impart any wisdom to you, Morgan, it's that life is rubbish. Everything is rubbish. Everything sucks. It doesn't get any better now. It's bad when you're young. It's even worse when you're older. We all look like we're sorted and we know what we're doing as adults. Morgan, we ain't got a clue, buddy. And your mum and dad didn't have a clue, and your grandparents didn't have a clue, and my grandparents did. No one's got a clue what's going on.
But if you're talking to people like Darren from earlier,
yes,
it's going to be crap.
Well, maybe my outlook is coloured by some of the people that I have to speak to on here. I like Darren's calls. Here's the thing: I never understand why Darren gets so upset every time. He's a very emotional person. I wonder if he's got Italian blood in him.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
When you're a teenager and you've got a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and the girlfriend really likes drama. Yeah. And you go out for the evening, and there's always one...
It's a very specific case.
Yeah, there's always one couple rowing, because she kind of loves it.
Oh, I see you mean drama as in not the dramatic arts, but drama. Drama.
Yeah,
Okay.
but she kind of loves it, and she'll always turn it around to a row. That's Darren.
Yeah. Morgan, it's got to be said, and I don't want to embarrass you, and I'm certainly not being sarcastic. You're one of, I know you're 16, you're one of the most worldly callers that we have on this show. I feel like, and I tell you why I'm saying this, because I just had to check myself then, because Kath said something, and I was going to make a rude joke, and I remembered, he's 16, it would be inappropriate. Now, of course, it wouldn't be inappropriate, but, you're a 16-year-old lad. But
you're 45 nearly.
It would feel inappropriate to me, and also it would be inappropriate within the confines of the rules of radio.
And also, I deserve respect.
Exactly. No, it wasn't about you. It wasn't about you. But I do feel that with you, that we could have, a very honest, open, intelligent chat about absolutely anything. And we get people 3-4 times your age phoning in, and no names, no pack drill, but I would struggle, if I asked them what the time was to believe their answer, So, well, she said. So, I don't, why am I saying this? I don't know. I'm hoping that it makes you feel good. That's what
I'm humbled by it, really. Like, obviously, been a very long time listener now. Obviously, I'm only 16, but I've been listening to podcasts and that. Yeah. Well, I'm humbled by it, so thank you.
Nice one, man.
Where is Alan Caddick? May I just ask?
He called up. He's at the start of the show, as he often is.
He'll be watching something crap on the telly. He was.
He
right at the top. He watches the television a lot.
He doesn't listen to the show. There's a weird phenomenon of callers who... I've got to do it now, it's the thing. Of callers who phone up the show because they want their airtime. They think they're entitled to it. And Alan is one, Nigel from Maidstone is one. There are a couple of others. They don't listen to the show. They just know that we're on, and that if they phone up, they'll more likely than not get a few minutes on the radio. And that's fine. That's fine.
Do you remember that caller that used to act as if she was Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah, I do remember. I do remember that.
But that's how long I've been listening to us.
Well, because I met someone at that awards do we went to, where we won an award, and this guy said, I used to phone you as Mrs. Doubtfire," and I went, "Oh, did you?" Really? And I was talking to him, and then I mentioned something about the call, and I don't think he was. I think he was a different Mrs. Doubtfire. "Oh, hello, dear. Oh, hello, it's Mrs. Doubtfire here." But it was that bad. So I may have met the Mrs. Doubtfire, or I may not. I'm still not sure.
Oh, but that was quality. I used to laugh at it all the time.
One of my favourites. No, let me rephrase it. The one that just popped into my head from around that era was this Indian guy phoned up called Dr. Khan. And he would tell you the best way to do handbrake turns in a Nissan Micra.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? He'd phone up. I don't know if he was Indian or not. I don't know. If he wasn't, it was a good accent. And he would phone up and tell you how to do handbrake turns in a Nissan Micra. Dr. Khan. It was great. My name is Khan. I don't think he was Indian now, I've said that. Hey, nice one, Morgan. Thanks for calling, man.
Yes, right, mate. You too.
See you later. Honestly, one of the most worldly souls we get calling this show.
You wouldn't believe he was 16, would you?
What a fine human being. Evening, Mark.
Hello.
Hello, Mark. What have you got for us tonight?
Hi there. It was funny, actually, you were talking about the whole video streaming thing.
Yes.
Because I usually just watch online on the video streaming thing. So when I finished my call with you guys last night, just I scroll back, bit of vanity, see what I sounded like on the radio and that. And imagine my surprise when you were talking about stabling rats' heads into the tea before.
Yes.
And Catherine was sitting there innocently saying, "Oh, no, I love all animals. I wouldn't do that."
Are you the rat guy?
What? I am the rat guy.
Yeah, okay, good.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad you watched the stream. Go on.
When I watched back on the live stream, imagine my horror that while she was sitting there calling you like an animal doing the hazers, she actually had a punnet of live rats next to her.
Yes.
She was biting the heads off them and sucking the guts out.
Yeah.
Well, look, as long as none of it goes to waste.
Broadcast that on the stream.
No, it just goes to show what an awful human being Catherine is.
Juicy.
And then, just before, the guy came on called Lloyd, who she told you was Sean. So again, it all feeds into this narrative that she can't be trusted.
Wow,
and
Mark,
you should watch her back in.
You're very brave, considering it's me who answers the calls.
That's fine.
I'm
just going to make a little note of Mark.
I like Mark a lot. Yes, I think he's a weirdo.
Yeah.
Probably a deviant.
Oh, I am a weirdo.
Yeah. But I like him.
I started listening to the show a couple of weeks ago, and I phoned in ranting on about my dad being sick, and now I'm here talking about your producer biting the heads off rats.
Yes,
so,
yes.
that's not normal.
Yes, I know, it is normal. Are you getting cabin fever at the moment? Everyone's gone a little bit funny, but people are a little bit angry, a little bit weird, a little bit darker. And it makes you think, if there was like a nuclear war or something, within 3 days, society would break down and people would be humping the corpses of foxes.
Wow. Where did that come from?
Just from an idea I've had for the last 30 years.
Would it be a dead fox who died after eating rat poison from or rat poisoning?
No, it would be a live fox that I would stove its head in front of its babies, and then I would do it. I would pump the fox.
Wow.
In front of the fox's babies.
Ian.
Yep.
I think finally that might be the one that gets us the Ofcom upheld.
I'm not. I don't know if I've rung the right line here because I thought I was ringing Talk Radio.
But now you're getting a bit turned on by it, aren't you, Cowboy?
It's some sort of weird sexy chat.
He said he was getting turned on. Yeah, there we go. My test work, my trap work, my not going to say you're a paedophile. My weird pervert. I'm like a paedophile hunter, but you're not saying for 1 second that you're a paedophile. I'm saying you're a pervert. I just can't put into words what it is I've done.
Deviant hunter.
I'm a deviant hunter, and I've entrapped you, Mark, and I'm going to hand you over to the authorities in Belfast.
I'm going to say, really good Talk Radio show is probably a good way to entrap deviants, to be honest.
Boom, you're correct.
He's right. Mark, thanks for calling, man.
No worries.
Cheers, bye-bye. Let's take a quick break. This is Talk Radio.
Dead of Night Discourse for disco queens,
I'm related to Jedward and Dolly Parton.
dairy farmers,
Aye.
and distant fathers.
Yeah, whatever.
The Late Night Alternative with Ian Lee.
Doing lots of things that we don't know about, we can't control.
On Talk Radio.
Yes, great.
03444 991,000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Let's go to John. John, good evening, John. Hi, John.
Good evening, Ian and Kath.
Hello, John.
Here we go, Big Bear John.
Okay.
Yes.
Ian, you do sound happy tonight, and I hope you really are.
Oh. Because I've got some bad news for you. It'd be great if you were starting from an up position. So, okay. John, I'm up and down. I'm up and down. I'm really up and down today. Got home last night and I felt lousy.
I read when you were down, and I was feeling for you, mate. You know.
Yeah, I felt lousy when I got home last night, and today when I got up, I woke up. I just couldn't get. I was lying in bed going, "Get up, do something, get up."
Got to do that.
And I finally did get up, and I had a really productive afternoon. But I felt a little bit weird. I'm a little bit nervous because there's a story about me in the Sunday Mirror. That makes me a bit uncomfortable. I know it'll upset my wife.
That'll be rubbish. It'll be just rubbish.
Well, you know, they've just lifted stuff that I've said off the show, and it's you know, and I've put it out there. But I know my wife will be upset, and that's not a nice thing to have.
It's not. No.
So I'm feeling a little bit, but you know, it's all right, isn't it?
Well, it's not going to be anything you haven't heard, so you know you've just got to try and let it pass you, really, haven't you?
Exactly. Listen, I'm going to be fine about it. I'm just worried about the people around me.
You will be, yeah. And the kids probably, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, tonight's show started off like rubbish on the radio, didn't it?
Yes, it did start. Like, hang on, what did he just say? Like, started off like rubbish on the radio. Okay, continue.
Yeah, that's a song. Remember, I rang you one night that you'd had Carter on the show.
Carter USM, yes.
Yeah, that's one of their tracks, rubbish on the radio.
Oh, is it? Oh, I see. Okay, he's cross-referencing a previous guest. He was good. The guy. What was the guy? What was his name? The guy from Carter.
I can't remember.
Jim Bob.
I keep listening to the track. Like, you know, I've downloaded a few tracks and put them onto a CD, and I just like I can sing them now, but I'm not tonight.
Sorry, what? It's a Carter karaoke special, guys.
Yeah, well, whenever that happens, I'll ring in, Ian.
Okay, well, we may do it at some point.
Well, last time I rang in, you know, I showed a little bit of support for Darren.
Yeah.
Is there some way I can retract that?
Listen, I like Darren's calls. I mean, Darren is a fascinating character because he's very up and down. I wonder a few things about him.
Yeah.
Very up and down. And you know, there's two extremes with him, and there's never any middle.
You know, like once a week you're supposed to test your smoke alarm.
Yeah.
Well, he's like that for our dump button.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So actually, he's quite useful in that way.
A lot of swearing going on the last couple of nights. I don't approve of it on the radio, really.
Well, I think he did try to bear his soul one night, but you won't have anything with it.
How are you doing, John? How's life for you?
I'm listening to your show and I'm enjoying it, and I'm quite well.
Good,
you know.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear it.
We celebrated our wedding anniversary this week.
Hey, beautiful. How many years?
45.
Hey,
congratulations.
Wow, man, that's brilliant. What did you do to celebrate?
Well, we just went away to a hotel for one night.
Wow! Yes, son, get in there. Well done. Well played, buddy. Well played, John.
Lovely fish restaurant it was.
No. I'm going to take that just on its literal face value.
No, it was literally a fish restaurant.
Okay, good. Okay, fine. Jeez.
Yeah, you know, you were talking about Ray Cropper before with that storyline.
Ray Cropper, I believe.
With the imaginary storyline, we have to say.
Yeah, well, you've tried to pass it on to them. They must have run it past the actor, surely. He couldn't take that role on, could he?
They would have to run it past the actor, and I think it would be.
Although, do you know what? For a brave man, it would be the role of a lifetime.
Wouldn't it just, eh?
Well, it would, but like fans take things literally, don't they? You know.
Yeah. I wonder if they do nowadays. Who was it? I was speaking to someone. I don't know. I don't remember who I was speaking to or what I was speaking about. So that story is just gone.
That's fine. Right.
Hey, John, nice one, man. Thanks for calling. Have a lovely weekend.
One daft little one in.
Yeah, go on. What?
I went to the local Tesco today. They've got a chemist in there that picked my wife's prescription up.
Yes.
And just sent us a message to see have they got any sledges in there for the grandbairns, you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I couldn't find any, so I got another message to say there might be at some in a local garage.
Okay, I suspect we're going to get a punchline in this.
No. Just the price of them.
Yeah.
Two little plastic sledges, £30.
£30 a pair?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, because it's snowing.
Yeah.
If you'd have gone and bought them 2 weeks ago, they'd have been. Well, do you know what? We've got two sledges, and the one that fits two boys on still got the price tag on, and that was $12.99 for a doubler. But I bought that. It's because
is that a plastic one or one on runners?
Oh, it's a plastic one. There's one on runners somewhere, but they don't go that well actually. The plastic ones are
we've
primo.
got a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a plastic snow shovel, but the wife wasn't content with that, you know.
The best sledge I ever went on, right, was years ago, before we had kids, and it snowed. We were in London, it snowed, and of course we didn't have a sledge, and we went to Toys R Us and all the places. They didn't have any sledges, they'd sold out. And so I bought, then I saw a big sandpit, right, that had a domed...
Oh, like the turtle one?
Yeah, it was like that, domed cover.
Have you even got one of them?
Yeah.
Have you even got one of them in the garden?
I said to the woman, I said to the woman in the shop, can we buy that? She went, the sandpit? I said, yeah, I don't want the sandpit, I just want the lid. She said, you've got to buy the whole thing. I said, fine, I'm not taking the whole thing with me, I just want the lid. And we took it to Parliament Hill on Hampstead Heath, and it was round, and you could fit 3 or 4 people on there easy. It was the fastest, most dangerous thing ever. And also, I'm reminded, we should have done this as a phone-in, what have you used as a sledge? There were people going down the hill in suitcases. Suitcases.
Hey,
unbelievable. John, thank you for that, mate.
Okay, and see you another time, mate.
Bye-bye.
I was never allowed a sledge growing up.
Let's go to...
They never buy me one.
No, we had... I think we had a wooden one.
So my kids have got sledges.
Good evening, Peter.
Hello.
Hello, Peter. What have you got for us?
Yeah, well, what I want to ask, I really want to ask, I come from Sweden, and I've lived in Sweden for many years, and what I'm interested in is this idea of this hard border in Northern Ireland.
Yes, go on then. Tell me why you're interested in that.
Well, why I'm interested in, because they keep talking about trade. They keep talking about trade, okay. Now, I have lots of family in the UK, and I have to be honest, that the most of the people that I know that vote, if I still lived in Britain and I'd had a vote, I'd have voted to stay in the European Union. But most of the people that I know that voted to come out of the European Union voted purely because they wanted to end free movement.
Right.
So when they talk about trade, but what about the people crossing the border? So is it possible for somebody to go into Southern Ireland and then cross the border and get into Britain?
Right. Well, you know the answer to that.
What is the answer to that, then?
Well, the answer is that's what's being discussed at the moment.
Yeah, of course that's being discussed at the moment, but that's not really being discussed because it's talking about lorries and trade.
No, it is being discussed by Theresa May and Europe. It's being discussed.
But when you see somebody who crosses the border at the moment in Northern Ireland from one side to the other, every day to go to work, is that going to change for them?
Well, that's what's being...
No one answers that question. Well, they're not answering the question. They're answering the question about lorries.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Technology.
No, they're not. Peter, calm down. They're asking questions about all of it. They're asking questions about whether there will be a hard border or whether there will be a closed border or whether there will be an open border. That's what is being discussed. No one knows...
But they're not answering the question.
No, they're not answering it. They're not answering
the question about trade.
No, they're not.
Trade.
They're not answering the question because there is no answer to that question yet. It's being discussed.
But how is that being discussed? What's being discussed is lorries going across.
So you just think when David Davis sits in a room with Claude Juncker, they're just talking about lorries in Ireland. That's the only thing they're talking about.
No, what I'm talking about is people that are huge Brexiteers who are saying that we can continue trade between the North and the South because technology will allow us to say that...
You don't even live in Britain. Why do you care?
Well, I do, because I think this is
You left Britain. You left Britain. It's got nothing to do with you now.
Because it's such a wrong decision. It was such a wrong decision to leave the EU.
It's nothing to do with you. You still live in Sweden. You still live in Sweden in the EU? Yeah.
Yeah, but lots of my family live in Britain.
Well, but that's their problem. That's their problem. You left. You bailed out years ago. Nothing to do with you. In fact, you shouldn't even be talking about it.
Well, of course it should be, because...
No, you shouldn't be. I shouldn't be discussing this with you.
We want Britain to stay in the European Union.
It's nothing. If you wanted Britain to stay in the European Union, you should have stayed in Britain. You buggered off to Sweden. It's got nothing to do with you. I shouldn't even be talking about this with you.
If I take the Swedish point of view,
So you're Swedish?
They want Britain... But the Swedish point of view is they want people to stay in Britain.
That's what everyone in. You're speaking. So you're a Brit who turned your back on your own country and your own peoples and forfeited your right to have any say in how this country is run. And now you're speaking. You left us in the lurch, and now you're speaking on behalf of all Swedes. The arrogance of you.
I have no arrogance.
Very arrogant. You just spoken on behalf of all Swedes.
All I'm saying is that the majority of Swedish people that I talk to would
that argument doesn't wash.
Stays in the European Union.
That argument doesn't wash either. Whenever people phone up a radio station and say, well, all the people I talk to think the same as me, that's because we surround ourselves with people who think the same as us.
Well, no, that's actually not true.
It's true.
I actually do meet people. There is a political party in this country that does want to come out of the EU.
Right. So not all Swedes. So your initial statement was a lie that all Swedes want Britain to stay in the EU.
Well, the majority of Swedes that I know,
yes,
and the third party in Sweden, for example, that is opposed to the EU.
Yeah.
Who wants to leave the EU? It's a very, very small amount. But the fact is,
most people in Sweden couldn't give a stuff whether Britain is in the EU or not.
Oh, of course they could.
Why could they?
You say that?
I'm in Britain and I couldn't give a stuff. I couldn't care less.
If people in Britain, if the rest of the world. But what I'm saying to you is what are you? All I'm asking you to say to me. I'm asking you to say is. What sort of solution are you looking for from the European Union?
I'm not David Davis.
Going to have?
I'm not David Davis. I'm not looking for any solution.
So you're quite happy.
I couldn't care less.
Whenever David Davis comes to.
Here's the thing, Peter. This is what I think everyone in Britain thinks, and I tell you why I think everyone does, because most people I talk to feel the same.
You're saying everyone in Britain.
Well spotted. But at least I didn't turn my back on this country. I still pay taxes, so I get a say. Most people couldn't care less. I'm bored by it. I don't care what happens. Whatever happens, happens. Nothing to do with me. I'm just going to get on doing my thing.
So it doesn't matter that people lose their jobs.
I don't care.
People stop investing in the country.
Oh, so hang on. Well, hang on. That's your opinion. Other people would argue that there will be more jobs. Well,
Tell me.
The people who voted to leave.
You that Brexit is going to be a good.
Tell
me one person or one organisation that says Brexit is going to be good.
Sure. I'll tell you. The Conservative government and the people that voted leave.
What Conservative government?
The Conservative government we've got in at the moment. They think it will be good. And the 15.2, the 15.8, whatever it was, million people.
62 people. You mean the 62 members of the Tory party that are hard Brexit?
No. All right. Well, you
support them?
No, I've not said I support them. You've asked me a question and I've given you an answer, and you cannot handle the truth.
But I can handle the truth. The truth is.
Shall I answer your question again? Because you've asked me a question, but I don't think you've even listened to what the question was.
But you're saying you don't care about.
No. That's not what the question was. What was the question you asked me?
The question I asked you is that what will happen to the people of Northern Ireland?
The last question that you asked me. What was the last question you asked me?
I don't know. Remind me.
Right. Okay. Well, this just shows, you see, if you can't even remember the questions you're asking me, no wonder you can't understand the answers. I will help you.
You haven't given me an answer, so that's why I can't remember.
No, I did. I gave you a very specific answer, which you ignored.
You said you don't care.
No. That wasn't in answer to the last question you asked me.
Mm-hmm. So what is your answer? What was the question and what's the answer?
Jesus, you're asking me what your question was?
Exactly, I am.
I'm glad.
I'm an idiot.
I know you are. I know you are.
I am.
And I'm glad you left this country. We got enough idiots over here already. So, I will tell you the question that you asked me, and then I will answer it. You asked me to name one person that thinks... Is this ringing any bells?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You asked me to name one person that thinks leaving Europe will be better for Britain. And I said the Conservative government and the 15-odd million people that voted leave think that we will get more jobs and more investment as a result of leaving Europe.
And my point is that you talk about a Conservative government. The Conservative government is very divided because they lost the vote in Parliament because many members of the Tory government.
Okay. Well, what about the 15? What about the 15 million people then that voted leave? They think that there will be more investment and more jobs.
No, because most of the people that voted to leave voted purely to leave because they wanted to control immigration.
How dare you? The arrogance of the man. The arrogance of you, Peter. You don't even live in this country, and you're telling 16 million people why they voted. I spend all of my time listening to.
No, I'm telling you about the people that I've spoken to.
No, you didn't. You said the majority of people who voted. You've got to be so specific in your language, Peter. You said the majority of people who voted, not the people you've spoken to.
I think I said.
Jesus, that's an important disclaimer, you absolute pudding.
I said the majority of the people that I've spoken to.
No, you didn't say that initially.
I said the majority of the people that I've spoken to.
No, you didn't say that initially.
They want to control immigration.
That's not what you said initially. And again, you can't extrapolate to cover the 15-odd million people that voted leave.
Well, of course, lots of people.
What's it got to do with you? What's it got to do with you anyway?
Well, of course, it's got nothing to do with me.
Well, exactly. So let it go.
It's the fact that I think it's very sad that Britain is leaving the European Union because I believe...
it got to do with you? Nothing. Get over it. Enjoy your life in Sweden.
It's got to do with...
It's nothing to do with you. You don't even live here. You're a turncoat.
I'm not a turncoat.
You're a traitor.
I came here for a job.
Yeah, exactly. You went there for a job. Good riddance. Good riddance.
But the problem is that Britain will be much worse off outside the European Union than it would be inside.
In your opinion?
Well, give me a reason why it wouldn't be.
I don't care. I'm pointing out facts,
So
and
you
here's the thing,
don't
and I don't
actually
care. I don't care about Brexit.
You don't actually care whether Britain's worse off or not worse.
I don't care. Honestly, I know this is hard for people to understand, right? I don't care about Brexit. I really don't care.
But I think that's terrible that you don't care.
Well, that's your problem that you think it's terrible. I don't think it's terrible that you think it's terrible that I don't care. I think it's weird. You're a turncoat. You're a traitor. You don't even live in this country.
But I think the fact is that anybody should be allowed to live in Britain, or British people should be allowed to live in Sweden, and so there shouldn't be a problem then, should there? That's the whole point of the European Union.
The whole point of the European Union is so you can live in Sweden. OK, Peter. Right. Well,
the whole point of the European Union is that people come together. Surely that is the point of the European Union.
In Sweden, I believe, but I don't know. Well, OK. I tell you what you have proved, that I'm right to never do a phone-in on Brexit.
Probably, yes.
Yeah. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I think he was calling London's biggest C word and misdialed.
What do you think about Brexit? 034. I'm right. I don't care. And I know, I could be a bit worse off. I could be a bit better. It probably won't affect me that much. It'll affect my kids a bit. And that's sad, but there's ways around that. Visas. There's visas. You can get visas. The lack of movement I think is sad, but there's ways. Honestly, I do not care. I don't care.
We don't know what it is yet.
I don't care. I tell you, the only thing I care about is that Brexit for the past 3 years and for the next 5 years has totally destroyed the British phone-in radio industry. 2015, when it was announced that we were going to have the election, the referendum, and the next 5 years of it sorting out. So that's 8 years at least of Nick Abbott being shit. Oh my God! And I just can't take it anymore. I can't take it. He's one of the best. Brexit is ruining him and it's ruining us. 03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio.
It's a very strange energy. Maybe I say that every night, so I just think maybe this show is we attract.
It's the bat signal.
We attract darkness. 03444991000. Another 20 minutes or so, and then Martin Kellner will be on at 1 o'clock, taking you through the night, easing you through the night, easing you through your lonely, difficult, self-pleasuring sessions.
Right, and that is why we get them.
That's what I do when I listen to Martin. I can't keep my hands off myself. Oh, I'm a beast. Good evening, Sarah.
But aren't you driving home?
Hi, Iain. Hi, Gav.
That is true. Yes. What was that? Didn't was it either a man or someone had invented a sex toy that you plugged into your car and it blew the car up? Was it a vibrator or was it like a sock?
I think it was the latter.
I think it was.
Am I imagining it, or did he plug it into his
into the
cigarette lighter?
Yeah. And it blew the car up.
Lucky.
Well, lucky it didn't blow his penis up.
Like one of those comedy cigars in a cartoon. Like a banana. Anyway, hello, Sarah.
Hello, Sarah. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
I'm so confused right now.
Yes.
Oh dear, that was heavy. That was heavy going there.
Nah, it was fun. I enjoyed that. Maybe we should do a Brexit phone-in again. I did enjoy that. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. Honestly,
do a Brexit phone-in, but only for the people of Sweden.
No, and I tell you why I enjoyed it, because I got clarity. I got real clarity on it. I don't care about Brexit. I really don't care.
I will care once it's done and I know what Brexit is, because I don't know what Brexit is.
Here's the thing.
And neither did they.
Here's what I know, right? Here's what I know. Whatever happens, we'll be out of pocket a bit. We'll all be out of pocket a little bit. But even if we'd have stayed in, we'd have been out of pocket a little bit, because we're always a little bit more out of pocket.
Tell you what annoys me, and it doesn't annoy me to the point where I'll phone in a radio station that I'm clearly not listening to. What annoys me is that it started off with just a load of blokes willy waving, and that's all it was really. It was just a political ping pong ball willy waving.
Willy waving.
Oh, I've never heard that. That's brilliant.
Well, you know what I mean, though, don't you? Like
dick measuring,
like chimps displaying.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Anyway,
I wasn't going to talk about Brexit. I scared the bejesus out of a duck today.
A duck?
Good. They're disgusting.
Were you pumping it? God. Is that the phrase? Pumping a dog?
Pumping a dog, he said.
Pumping a dog. Were you pumping a duck?
Not a dog. No, I wasn't. Not a dog, a duck. Yeah. I scared a duck.
Okay.
How did you scare it? Told it about Brexit.
Right. Yeah. In a Swedish accent. I just went to the duck pond, so I felt sorry for the ducks because it was cold.
It was so cold, yes.
I hate this snow. I've had enough. And do you know what? It's making me crave chocolate hobnobs.
Yep. I'm off the chocolate. I took the dog for a nice long walk yesterday, and it was freezing. And the whole went round the park, and on the way back, I was walking into the wind, and it was freezing, and it was brilliant.
Has she got a coat?
Yeah, she's a dog.
No, I mean an extra one.
No. She's not had a haircut for a while. And I was walking on thin ice.
Oh,
because I had to break into the house and steal the dog. I was walking on thin ice, and it was great. I loved it. And it was freezing, and I was cold, and my face was ruddy at the end of it, and brilliant. But brilliant.
I got caught up in a local village about 3 miles away, and I couldn't get a train back, so I had to walk back on Tuesday. And then it's my first time ever I have hated the snow. I never want to see snow for as long as I live.
Yeah.
Sarah, what did you do to the duck?
Oh yeah, the duck.
Yeah.
No, I was just chucking food at the duck.
Frozen
not
bread.
Hurt them or anything. Yeah. Just to a bird seed.
Yeah.
And it scared the other ducks, and this duck flew away.
Yeah.
Right across the park.
Oh.
Circled the pond several times and just disappeared. I have no idea where this duck went.
Just disappeared.
So I'm hoping I haven't killed a duck.
I don't think you killed... What? Huh?
Magic duck.
Well, that could be.
Ducks are disgusting, so don't be upset about that.
No, but I quite like ducks.
Well,
I've got a thing for ducks.
Don't Google their private parts.
I like the taste of duck, but it gives me terrible indigestion. And I'm getting to an age now where I will avoid foods that make me ill.
You're going to be that old man who says, "Oh no, I'm not eating that. It disagrees with me."
No, I'll be the old man when I'm old, going to whoever it is, whoever poor woman is unfortunate to spend the rest of life. Remind me, do I like that? A lot of the 70s, when my mum going to my dad, Mount, you wouldn't like that. No, you don't like that. Do I like this? No, you don't like that.
My mother-in-law used to do that to my father-in-law, and now she's not around. Guess what? He likes loads of new food.
There we go.
It turns out he doesn't mind it after all.
There we go. Well, Sarah, you're a wicked, horrible human being for bullying ducks. I'll let it be known. Good evening, Tommy.
How are you doing there?
Very well, Tommy. Thank you.
Brilliant. I was just adding one question because I wanted to know about what the lady or the man was saying about the Brexit, the guy from Sweden, when you were talking. Now, I live out in the sea, and usually I like to go over to the European Union to get all my stuff, like my biscuits and such. And I just wanted to know if... That's not funny.
Is a tuck biscuits cheaper over there then? I suppose they would be, wouldn't they?
Nice. They call them Nice over there.
Yeah. What's your favourite European biscuit?
BN.
This is my question. This is what I want to know.
Yes, Tommy.
With this Brexit, is it going to leave me out of pocket? Because it's not cheap with the petrol getting over from one side of the island to the other.
Yes.
And when I come back, the people under security, are they going to be charging me more money?
It'll make your accent go a bit funny.
It's gonna make biscuits. Was that the only point he realised we got wise to him? That was a great call, Tommy.
You went a bit Ringo Starr halfway
That was
through.
a great call, Tommy. You call back any time you want, buddy.
Oh.
That was a brilliant call.
Yeah, it was done with
We've had some really
panache.
funny pranks. That one, and I wish the pumping a dog. I wish I'd gone a bit further with that, but I. We've had some cracking prank calls, haven't we?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
The Sun is right. So it's a really sad story, right? Really sad story. I'm going to read this. A dad aged 25 is dying after... a dad aged just 25 is dying after developing cancer of the penis, right?
What?
Dale Clark has already had part of his organ removed and faces losing the rest of it. He's endured 5 operations, 9 rounds of radiotherapy, 2 of chemo, but the cancer has now spread to his liver and lymph nodes. Dale said, it absolutely destroyed me. My penis has no use other than to try and urinate. Has no feeling. I'll probably lose it altogether. Right. So, horrible, right? He's a dad, and there's a picture of him and his beautiful wife and his little boy. And then the Sun have got, right at the top of the page...
They've been sensitive.
Bloke's worst nightmare. If you mean... bloke's worst nightmare of dying young and leaving a baby. Yeah, but you're talking about his penis. Look at that. Bloke's worst nightmare.
Wow.
I think that's horrible, that. And, the joke is it's his penis. This is the saddest story. This poor fella and his beautiful wife, beautiful baby. He's a good-looking boy himself. And it's horrendous. Bloke's worst nightmare. Come on, guys.
Classy move, guys.
Why don't you try... And then in the story, they do go on and give you the stats about penis cancer and about how it's really, really rare.
The people who do the headlines aren't the people that write the stories.
Yeah, I know.
And I wish the people that wrote the headlines would read the stories.
But it should be, here's the story all blokes should know. You know, if you're going to do it as a Sun, blokes or something, his important story all blokes should read. Chances are it won't happen to you, but here's how to spot it. That's what you want. Not bloke's worst nightmare. His dick's going to fall off. Poor family. I wish them, Dale. I wish you and your family nothing but the very, very best of luck. And they can do miracles, guys. They can do miracles, and I hope they can sort stuff out there. This story's brilliant. I love this. Hundreds of churchgoers clutched guns in a mass wedding ceremony yesterday and thanked God for their right to bear AR-15s.
Because God is guns, right? Not love. They used, ammunition to make themselves crowns and things.
Yeah, there's a woman wearing a crown bullet.
That's fine, that's
there's
normal.
Old people, they're all white, and people in religious garb holding guns. There was a school... there was a school nearby that closed down. There's a school sort of next to it or something that closed down. I don't know if it's in this story, but it was on the radio. More than 300 couples got hitched or renewed their vows before honouring their rifles, which they believe are God's sacred rod of iron.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that.
The Sanctuary Church... Oh, here we go. An offshoot of the Moonies.
Ah, OK.
Was accused of insensitivity. Nicholas Cruz, 19, used an AR-15 to kill 17 people at a Florida school on Valentine's Day. Church leaders argued the event in Newfoundland, Pennsylvania, was a tribute to mass shooting victims. Oh.
There was another shooting today in Michigan. University.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard this on another radio show, right? That in America there is a mass shooting every day. Now, a mass shooting, I think...
More than one.
...is 3 or more. So, the school shooting would be a mass shooting, but in America... Now, I don't know where I heard this, and I'm saying it, and maybe I'm perpetuating the myth, but there is a mass shooting in America every single day. That kind of makes sense. It's a messed up place. I love America, but it's a messed up place. Hello, caller. Turn your radio off, dude.
Hello?
Hello, you're on the air.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's all right, actually. It's going all right.
Was it, you were talking about guns there?
Yeah.
All right. Was it, Trump wants to get teachers to have guns in school?
Yeah, he does. Although he'd, of course, run in there without any weapons.
As long as there was no slopes or eagles.
Yeah.
So he says.
He's the greatest president that I've ever seen.
Humble man, the humblest.
Yeah, I was reading an interview. He said that avoiding STDs in the 70s was his version of Vietnam.
He said that?
Yeah.
No, what? No.
He did. That
guy's a legend. You've got to admit he's brilliant.
Good crack, like, isn't he?
Didn't a teacher shoot some people? Mm-hmm. Was that the one you were just talking about?
No, this is Central Michigan University today.
What was the one where there was one in the last couple of days? A teacher, him saying, "Oh yeah, teachers should have guns." Then a teacher shot somebody.
No, the teacher shot a gun off or something in a classroom.
Yeah. Man alive.
He said he would run into the school if there was a shooting going on.
Yeah.
This is a guy in Georgia you're thinking of, Ian. Let a firearm off.
Devil went down to Georgia.
Tune there, boy.
Yeah, it's a song that Devil went down to Georgia, and it's all on the fiddle.
Yeah, was it? It would be. What do you think would happen then if school shooting went on and Trump just happened to be at the school giving a speech?
I think that Donald Trump. Come here, Martin. I've balanced stuff on that chair. Sorry, look, put that tripod on the floor and you bring that chair in and all of this stuff. Sorry. I think Trump is a man of his word, and I think if he says he would run into a school unarmed, and if there was a shootist in there, I think he would do it. I've got no reason to doubt his word, caller.
I agree with you, mate. You'd probably run in, probably tackle the shooter.
Yeah.
Here, I have one question for you. Just, you see if the teachers start getting guns in schools?
Yes.
Do you think, like, the librarians should have silencers?
There we go.
Is that what that whole call was building up to? Be honest with me.
A wee bit?
Yeah, it was good. Do you know what? It was all right. It was all right, man. Thank you very much.
This is my first time listening to your show.
Oh, well, listen...
You've got the gist.
You've totally... What's your name, friend?
Just call me the fuel tank.
The fuel tank?
Yep.
I don't want to know why.
All right, fuel tank. Type that on the screen for us, please, Gary. That's the fuel tank. Give us a call again, mate. Thank you. We're here every Monday to Friday.
All right. See you later, buddy.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I pulled that because these you've got to speak right into these ones. These are rubbish. There we go.
All right.
There we go, yeah. How you doing, Martin? Martin Kellner, ladies and gentlemen. Martin Kellner. Hey, Rat fans.
Yeah, the fuel tank. That's my name as well.
Yeah. How you doing? You all right?
I'm fine, yeah. Yeah, looking forward to it. Fine show today.
You always... Here's the thing. You come into the office just as I've sort of had a long sort of week and day, and I'm always a little bit... Oh, God. I'm so tired when you come in. And then when we come in, just before we come on air, Catherine and I take loads of drugs.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And we'll clean it up this time, sorry. No, we don't. But yeah, when you come in, I'm always a little bit flat and a bit, so I hate my job and I hate everything. And then we come in and we party.
Yeah.
Like it's 1999.
Oh, it's very good. It's exactly like it's 1999.
What is going to be on your show this evening, please, sir?
Well, we're talking about sleeplessness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a clinical psychologist on, which is always good news. We've a lot of Oscar stuff, because it's Oscar weekend. And,
is it this weekend?
It's this weekend. It's Sunday night into Monday morning.
Okay.
So I've got Brian Viner, the Mail's film critic on. I've got my friend Elaine Lipworth in LA. She's coming on about that. Not dead yet. Going very, very well. We pay tribute to people who haven't died.
Mel Brooks last week.
We did somebody else. I can't remember who that was. Pete Townsend.
Oh.
Pete Townsend. Still not dead.
Still not dead.
Still not dead.
I once, I say this to everyone that mentions that my coolest thing I ever did was I got to introduce The Who live on stage at the Royal Albert Hall once.
Wow.
And afterwards, I didn't get to speak to them because they were there and I could have spoken to them, but I was too nervous. But afterwards, Pete Townsend walked past me, Then he walked back, just patted me on the shoulder, gave me a thumbs up and walked off. And I thought, yeah, that'll do.
That's something. Yeah, I got to introduce Nina Simone.
Oh, no! Oh, you win that game.
Do I win that game?
That's a game I very rarely get. But when did you introduce Nina Simone?
It was when I was working for Jazz FM.
Yeah.
So it would be about 7 or 8 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 9 years ago.
So she was probably... We're going to run out of time. She was probably troublesome and not particularly well at that point.
Yes, she came on and she had a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't well at all and was very troublesome.
Yeah.
And I was warned by her heavies not to plug my show on Jazz FM.
Oh.
But I did, and then I ran for my life because they were really, really hurt.
Oh, Martin, we've got to go because the show is going to start. That's all happening after one. Not the Nina Simone stuff, but everything else that you heard will be happening after 1 o'clock. We'll have to talk about that next time because that's fantastic. Do stick around. You can call in, Martin, if you want. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Thank you, Gary, for your help this week. Thank you, Catherine, as always. We shall be back on Monday. Until then, from us, ta-ta.